before getting absolute muscled there. At turn 1, that was an absolute disaster.
Oh, he's spun!
Oh no! That's massive for Adam!
All over the rear bumper and spin, mate. These guys are hitting each other like nothing we've ever seen before.
Jeep pulls out to the outside. Here we go again.
86 there, he's going to go for a move here, the two Ferraris in front of him.
Juice went wide. Jesus
Oh!
Oh, good contact.
Oh, massive contact there.
This is going to be an incredible finish for these two.
The speed, the overspeed happening. They're going to go 3 wide into
Oh.
turn 1.
There's contact there from Crazy Good Kung Fu on the way in. He tries to retwist and gets his way.
Shoved out wide. Oh, huge contact.
This is fantastic. On the outside though in turn 1.
As he shoves it down the inside anyway. What is this? Oh my gosh! What a move from GTR!
Hello everybody, welcome back to Sector 1. We're here tonight at the lovely Suzuka circuit, the premier motor racing circuit in Japan. It's the last of our Japan run here in the Sector 1 World Tour, Season 7, of course, and it's the penultimate round of the Sector 1 World Tour. My name is Lenosis, and joining me in the commentary box tonight is your Division 3 race director, Crazy Good Kung Fu. How are we tonight, Crazy Good Kung Fu?
Doing very well, thank you, Lenocious, and looking forward to 5.8 kilometers of the most epic race circuit, in my opinion at least, in the world. Got a ton of great racing ahead of us tonight.
Absolutely. And on that note, we'll have a look at the track map for tonight. As Crazy Cook Kung Fu mentioned, it is 5.8 kilometers, 18 turns for this one. The wet weather tires are up for use, but the forecast is telling us that it's probably not going to show any water for the next 2 weeks or so, unfortunately, which that's always an interesting spectacle. However, most likely just going to be the soft and medium tires for use today. They are required tires, even if the rain does come. And Division 3 weather is late morning time of day, and Division 1 is afternoon time of day. And we'll just have a look at our track schedule as well. Kicking us off momentarily is Division 3 with their 10-minute qualifying session, followed with their 21-lap race. Then Division 1 kicking us off at 8:15. It's ADST, sorry. I apologize for that small discrepancy there. As Daylight Savings did kick in today for the east coast of Australia, excluding not New Zealanders, Queenslanders, I should say. And then at 8:30 or 8:30 ADST. I'm getting confused with these time zones. At 8:30, 8:30, 21 lap race. That's how it is. And while we've got the chance as well, we'll have a look at our Division 3 points tallies, as this is the pointy end of the season. This is where things start to get interesting. Mr. Bumcracker leads the way for Kraken Esports on 321 points. 15 points behind is Freelix for Respawn Esports. Boybagum completes the top 3 for CP. Budsy for ISA in 4th. Gurr, the Dadson racing driver, in 5th in his Mercedes. However, he will be missing tonight's race, unfortunately. Black Project in the Blacklight Ferrari in 6th. The Stranger 7th for Doghouse. Carbon Boy 8th for Obsession. Daz 9th for Deeds. Shizer in 10th for Brocchio 5 Sim Racing. Killer and Deleuze 11th for Lightning. Sizzling Sausage 12th for Black Rose. Rex, who has stepped aside for the remainder of the season, in 13th. And Prua from Obsession Motorsport in 14th. So what do we think of that, CGK?
Well, it's definitely heating up. Of course, Mr. Bumcrack at the moment still out to a decent lead in the championship in Div 3. It's going to be interesting to see if Freelix can do anything to sort of catch up, make up some ground here. I mean, only 15 points separating them at the moment. Of course, third spot not too far behind as well on Boybegum. And with a recent run of good form, Budsy is actually still in this, potentially for a podium position. Budsy won last round in the Group 3 cars at Fuji Raceway with a very impressive performance. It was great fun to watch him. Of course, I'm not biased, being a nicer esports teammate of his, but it was a great run there, and Mr. Bumcrack had a bit of an unfortunate run that time. So, yeah, things are heating up in Div 3. It's a very, very exciting little race, this one, and with 2 rounds to go, yeah, it's all to play for, mate.
Yeah, and it's definitely, this race has a bit more significance than all the others, because after this race is when the drop rounds come out to play, and it means that each of these drivers' worst 2 performances will be dropped from their points total, which really spices things up for the final race in Monza in 2 weeks' time. So, oh, wow, it's not over yet. Even though Bumcrack has that 15-point lead, 1 disconnect, and it's on. That's how this works. So
Exactly right.
Ready to get underway, I believe. Has the big red button been clicked?
The big red button has gotten bigger, and it is being clicked indeed. So we are now in qualifying everyone, and yeah, looking to see what kind of times are going to be set out there by everyone. I've been looking at things in the practice sessions, and 210s have been on the board a couple of times. Might see a 209 today, and might see a little bit lower than that as well. Not sure if they were pushing maybe as hard as they would be like. Of course, in qualifying, they do get to push pretty much as hard as they want to. They will, I think, be coming into the pits during this qualifying, though, to get a fresh set of tyres once they've done a push lap and got a banker in.
Yeah, a little bit gloomy out there today. It's a little bit hazy. One might say a bit of alpine mist hanging around. I mean, we are, of course, near the ocean in Suzuka, so a little bit of that sea mist coming across potentially.
Yep, that's right. So a bit cloudy out there today. I think there's going to be spots of sun throughout the race today. So we'll see if there's any decent warming of the track surface around there for these competitors. Of course, with the slightly colder track surface, they're going to have to make sure those tyres are well within the window. Not something that's super easy to do on a lot of occasions, but as you said, some alpine mist just rolling across the horizon as it stands right now. But all of these guys and girls here are going to be plenty prepared for the situation at hand. One was asking bushfires. No.
What? Bushfires, yeah.
Bushfires? Yeah, nah. Doesn't happen in Japan, unfortunately. Not as much as another country we're familiar with.
Yeah. The stranger for Doghouse Racing, I think this is the first time he's brought out these new liveries on the Group 4 cars. Looking spectacular. He redid them recently, and he's sporting a new sponsor. It's the Sector 1 merch store, which is coming very, very soon. And we see that very prominent on the side of his Doghouse car. Just behind him, we have Carbon Boy in the Obsession Motorsport Toyota 86. And he's just plugging along. He's having a decent season. He's got some good results and some mediocre results, and he'll be looking to increase his points tally before the drop rounds come into effect at the end of this race. Frelix, the 3rd man on the track, he was leading the championship at the start of the season, but he's dropped off a little bit, currently sitting in 18 standings, so Frelix doing a good job for himself for Respawn Esports. Black Project RX-7 in the black white Ferrari. He's also looking to put a dent on his drop round points, I should say. Been having a decent season, Black Project. He started off very strong, taking race 1 at Nürburgring, and a series of fortunate events for the black white driver has seen him sort of down the order in the standings. So
yeah, I won't forget when his controller or wheel disconnected and sent him flying out of the infield at Daytona into a barrier, which was really unfortunate for him. But yeah, he's come back strong. He certainly has.
Yeah. As we have a look at Brewer for Obsession Motorsport with the golden wheels on that car, he's had a couple of races off, but he's not going to take any drop rounds. But he was here last week at Fuji, and he's here again this week at Suzuka. So enjoying his Japanese tracks here, Brewer. Looking nice while he does it with those nice golden wheels on the APL Supra.
Yeah, hate to interrupt here, but unfortunately we've had a disconnect from the lobby in Boybegum. So he is going to be typing in the chat momentarily. There has been, unfortunately, a lot of issues with the new GT7 patch that has come out. People are getting disconnected during or at the end of qualifying. Unfortunately, it looks like we have suffered one of those already. So Lenocious, I think I'll make a call as a race director that will probably end up setting the grid manually, and I'll have a little think about how we organise Boybagum into this qualifying.
Okay, no worries. So we're running on board with Killer on the Loose now as he comes through the Spoon corner on the back run down the straight. The run down to 130R, one of the most infamous corners in the world, in his Lightning Motorsport Supra. As he approaches the corner, just a slight lift in these Group 4 cars. Gets turned in. Yes, lots of extra room on the exit there. See these times start to fly in as well. Carbon Boy the first to set a lap. Oh, I think we've lost another one as well, potentially, or is that just the timing?
No, I think that's just the timing boards this time,
okay,
luckily.
the timing boards doing
Yeah, I had a moment as well.
I think it might have been that Stranger had a invalidated lap. Yes, that is correct. He has a half-second penalty there, so these guys carrying along. But Freelix holds provisional pole position at the moment, a tenth and a half over Black Project.
Yep, Freelix, he's done well there. It's a good little lap. He's into the 209s, the low 209s. He's actually gone purple again in Sector 1. One of the trickier sections, and he nearly runs wide through Dunlop there, but holds it very, very nicely into the Degner's Heat will go. Black Project behind him, very close behind him. In the 209s as well, solid time there. Got Budsy in the top 3, and then another 209 by Prua. So it's 4 cars in the 209s already.
Yeah, on the first flyer, these guys could even go even quicker. Freelix knocking on the door of a 208 at the moment, so anything can happen in this one.
Exactly right. Well, Suzuka is not known to be a particularly grippy surface. There's a lot of very tricky corners, of course, namely Spoon, very difficult. Turn 1, also very, very difficult. If you run wide at any of the turns here, you are straight into the green areas of the grass and then onto the gravel, which is a bit of a lap ender. It's certainly in terms of qualifying. Can be race ending if you pick up too much damage as well running wide. So very tricky circuit for people to navigate. But it's going to be interesting with these Group 4 cars. Not a car that I'm super familiar with around here at Suzuka. I'm used to driving the Group 3 cars around here, which are a lot faster. But, you know, it's going to be good fun to see these Group 4 cars go around. Absolutely, as we actually see Killer Loose going past Prua there on track. P4 for Prua and P6 for Killer. And most of these guys have set a first banker except for Killer Loose. Stranger, I should say, who pops himself into P9. Carbon Boy proves his lap time, puts himself into P5 with a 2:10.2. And Killer on the Loose immediately goes quicker than that, slots himself into P5, marginally quicker than Carbon Boy, who Daz splits the two of them as well. But Budsy has taken P1. He's gone on to pole by 53 hundredths of a second. Goes past the car there into turn 1, 2:09.037. Great time there from the ICE Sports driver.
Levenspiel to the top of the times. 208.8. We are into the 8s.
Now,
these guys are ramping up.
They are ramping up, and so is the circuit, because I'm noticing a slight break in the clouds. There's a little bit of sun shining, which means the track is going to get a little bit warmer, and that also means that there'll be a little bit more grip available to everyone. So, yeah, Lenocious, this is going to, ironically, heat up a little bit.
As Bumcrack quietly slots himself into P5 with a 2.3 there. Now, the problem with this track is, as it's such a long track, these guys, they only get 2 or 3 flying laps. And most of these guys, they're going to get one more lap after this, and that's all they're going to get.
That's right. We've just seen Killer on the Loose. He went for a spin at Degner 2 there, and Budsy got a little bit compromised on the exit himself, and then backed out, let Daz through. So Daz continues, but it looks like Daz is maybe on a bit of an outlap at the moment. Bumcrack comes through. He's currently in 5th, is Bumcrack. So that's our championship leader at the minute. And he will need to improve to get up ahead of some of these chaps who are absolutely flying at the moment. Levenspiel, that's super impressive. Well done. He's into the 208s.
That's very, very rapid for these Div 3 guys. As everyone's going to get one more opportunity to set a lap. And Stranger, currently sitting in P10, will be the first to embark on the final lap. Now, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, we'll have to wait and see. as he rounds the final corner. What's the lap going to be? That's going to be a quick one, actually. P2 for the Alpha. Great lap from Stranger.
That is beautiful. He puts the Alpha all the way up there. This new livery's obviously found them a little bit of time here on the grid. But yeah, he'll be able to go out for that one last lap. And yeah, crikey. Brilliant stuff from Doghouse there. Excellent.
As Pro is down and it's going to be no drivers who I'm not too sure. They are Dragons. Daz. None of those improve at the moment. But as it stands, it's a front row of Levenspiel and Stranger. Stranger's gone off, oh dear, at the S's.
He has indeed. He's just absolutely binned it on one of the curves there. And yep, there for him, that is going to be his qualifying over. But P2 is nothing to scoff at. It really just depends on who else can get into that magical 208 region. So far, only 2 have managed it.
And let's just see how these guys are going. We're going to be riding on board with Freelix, as he's coming up to the sector split just underneath the bridge here. And what's it going to be? Is he up or down? He is down by 1.1 seconds, so that's Freelix's qualifying essentially done. And we'll see Budsy now. He's still got a crack at pole.
He does indeed. Freelix, by the way, didn't come in for fresh tyres, so he's got some very worn tyres. Might explain part of the reason why he's down so much on his time, sadly.
Parked as well. That was Brewer. I believe he's just letting some traffic through, or he's had a moment. One of the two. But I don't see anybody going quicker at the moment. This might be it for the qualifying. We'll see Black Project. He's marginally down. That's still something he can work with, the Black Light Motorsports driver.
Right, no one improving, and no one's going to come across the line to get another lap here as well. So, yeah, at the moment, the order seems to be completely settled.
Carbon Boy will be the first to cross the line and end the session as he comes into the final chicane, gets the power down, and by the look of that sector split, I don't know, this might be an improvement. It's going to be tight. He does improve to P8. Freelix, the next one to cross the line. He is very far down. And then it is Brewer let the next through, so it will be Daz the next one to come through. No.
Bumcrack as well.
In front of Daz.
Yep, Bumcrack's just coming across the line now. Doesn't improve, stays P6.
Daz is very far down as well, and it will be Brewer. Black Project Brewer is very far down. Black Project will be the next car. Crosses the line marginally slower, 209.6 for him. And it will be the Sizzling Sausage, the last driver to cross the line. Nobody improves there. So that is our qualifying session run and done for Division 3. Nobody improving on that final lap due to the tyre wear. But wow, what a session that was.
Really
lots to talk about there.
Yeah, lots to talk about, and some very, very good lap times put in from Division 3. Now, I will take a moment. I'll let you ruminate a little bit about these results while I figure out the next things we have to do to get Boybegum back into our lobby and into the qualifying results. So just so everyone knows, Boybegum, unfortunately, because of that disconnect, he will be starting last in this race. So I will sort that out now.
So this is how the race results, or qualifying results, I should say, as everyone lines up. In that qualifying session, so Levenspiel takes P1, the Go-Kanga fastest lap with a 208.867. The Stranger lines up alongside, I think it's his highest qualifying result of the season, coming out swinging in the Alfa Romeo, and with the tyres and fuel save that Alfa is able to do. Stranger's looking on for a great finish in this one. Budsy for the ISA Esports outfit comes home in P3. He's joined on the second row alongside with Freelix, Black Project in P5, Bumcrack P6, Pro in 7th, Carbon Boy in 8th. And looking at the second half of the grid, it's Killer on the Loose 9th, Daz 10th, Sizzling Sausage 11th, and Boybegum, with his disconnect, will be starting in 12th for this one. So, a little bit to talk about there. I mean, massive that nobody improved on the final lap. It seems like the tyres dropped off too much that nobody was really able to capitalize on the end there. So, yeah, interesting
that's right.
to see.
I thought it would speed up a little bit more, but I think a lot of people did choose to stay out on their current set of tires. So as the track sort of heated up, everyone's tires were sort of disappearing, sadly. And that ended up meaning that, yeah, they kind of offset the sun coming down the track and the increase in grip with the loss of grip from having worn tires. I didn't see anyone come into the pits there, at least from my perspective. So that was probably one of the reasons, Lenosius, why we didn't see any major improvements there in the grid. But yeah, interesting to see Bumcrack as well. He's not been putting in these qualifying times that he needs to continue his run of good form at the top of this championship. So he'll have a bit of work to do today.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, while we have the chance, I think we'll just have a quick look at the Teams Championship, how they're shaping up at the moment, while we've got the time. So, as it stands, Respawn Esports lead the way on 1,176 points, a 100-point lead over the next best team, the sister team to Respawn, Hooncorp Esports. Kraken Esports take third place in the championship. CP, they've been knocked off their third place spot in the McLarens. They dropped to fourth. Dadson up to fifth spot. Great job for the Mercedes team. The Doghouse Motorsport, the Alfa Romeo outfit, the sister team to Dadson. They're sitting in sixth in the standings. Ice Esports in seventh. No change there. Deeds down to eighth. Blacklight up to ninth. Pushing Obsession Motorsport down to 10th. Brockia 5 Sim Racing holding 11th. Black Rose in 12th. Lightning Motorsport 13th. And Red Mist rounding it out at the moment in 14th. Last place for the Toyota drivers. So that's how things are shaping up in the Teams Championship. How much longer do we reckon we got to go, CGK, until we jump in to the 21-lap Division 3 Round 11 race?
So the grid is set. I'm going to do another quick double check to make sure I've got everything right, because you never want to get things wrong in qualifying positions here. It's not a good idea. But other than that, we are good to go. Everyone is checked in. Boybegum is going to be starting last in the grid in 12th position. It doesn't show that on the official result, as you know. But we've got Levenspiel first, The Stranger second, Budsy in third. Yes. Felix in fourth. Yes. Black Project in fifth. Mr. Brumcrack in sixth. Pruitt in seventh. Carbon Boy in eighth. Killer on Duluth in 9th, Daz in 10th, Sizzling Sausage in 11th, and then Boybegum at the end. So, I think it's time. Let's click this button. Let's get this race started, Lenosius.
I think we go racing in Suzuka. Here we go.
Oh,
after that spicy qualifying session.
Oh, did we just have, hold on, we've just had Carbon Boy decide to click out.
Oh, dear.
Oh, dear. Okay, well, that's a bit frustrating there. So we may have to red flag this. Unfortunately, I'm going to call it, we're going to red flag.
Maybe that glitch potentially. I don't know.
No. It's we are red flagging, unfortunately. Unfortunately, sorry, folks. Carbon Boy for some reason decided to jump out.
Anyways, we'll say hello to everybody in chat at the moment. Hello, Robert Rice, Crazy Good Kung Fu. You're in chat and you're also in the comms box.
I am indeed. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm everywhere, mate. I'm everywhere. Race director duties.
JB Wolf in chat. Hello. Thanks for joining us. Snake Eyes. Thanks for joining us. Debrev in chat as well. Matthew Joinson, Blind Man in chat. Karen Unleashed. Ellie Foster. Morgan Davey. Womble. We got Dadson in chat. Devils Rejects Racing, and Shizer's in chat as well. Hello, everybody. Goering chat. Tim, thanks, everybody, for joining us tonight on this warm Sunday afternoon. I mean, it's warm where I am. I'm not too sure whether it's warm where everybody else is, so I would imagine decently warm.
Let's hope so.
Is it warm over in Kiwi land?
Yeah, it's okay. It's not too bad. It's a bit windy over
okay.
here in Wellington, but yeah, the thing that's really screwing with all of us at the moment is actually the daylight saving thing. So, by the way, a big thank you to you, Lenosius, who's given us a way to do relative time zone post things in Discord, which has been I mean, I don't like to use the phrase, but it's been a godsend. It really has been.
Yeah, it's a bit annoying with all the different time zones, and luckily Discord has given us a feature that actually helps with stuff like that. They're aware that there's communities that use their platform who need to organize different things in different time zones and whatnot. So helps us keep us organized.
That's right. The big red button has been clicked. We're good to go this time. Everything's sorted out on the grid. Here we go, Lenocious. It's time.
Attempt number 2.
That's right. All looks good on the grid, and here we go.
As they're lined up. Light sequence about to begin. 1 light, 2 light, 3 light, 4 lights, 5 lights. They are out and racing here at Suzuka Circuit. The Alfa Romeo blinding off the line, gets Livingspiel, and it looks like in the background, the Porsche might be able to get the Supra as well. No, he's been boxed in the background. A couple of moves being made. Not much shifting and changing, too wide through the first turn, but it looks like Stranger in the Alfa Romeo is going to hold the position. Livingspiel under a lot of pressure from the isnt Esports car of Budsy. Everybody through cleanly through the first few turns. It looks like single file for the most part now. Everybody slotted into their position. The Black Rose car a little bit wide in the background there, but holding true at the moment. Stranger has put the afterburners on, and he's already gapped the field by a second. We see Felix ducking it down the inside of the ISA car, gets it through the inside, a little bit of contact, but it looks like the ISA car is going to hold the position. It's going to be a tight one as they approach the braking zone. Quick left kink. Oh, it's Felix is gone! Oh dear!
And it's not just Felix, it's also Black Project
Rose
as well.
Black Project in the Black Light Ammo car. They've gone off the track. And now they've dropped to P11 and P12. Not too far off the back of the pack though. They'll have to fight their way back to the front here.
That has allowed Carbon Boy to get back his positions that he lost early on in this race. So he's now up to 7th place and fighting with Mr. Bumcrack down there. Boy Begum, by the way, has had the best start of all. Gone from last to 8th place on the grid. So a blitzing start for him. Sizzling Sausage up ahead of Daz as well. A little bit of contact here. They go through Spoon now. Very tricky corner. Everyone navigates it well. So as a race director, not a bad start. Not a bad start there.
Absolutely. It's nice to see when these guys keep everything civil on the grid.
Yes, it is. It is definitely nice. But that Alpha off the line, that was something else. He was a rocket. Oh, that's wide for Budsy. Very wide at 130R. Kid on the Loose getting a bit loose as well into the Casio Triangle they go for the first time. And that's the first lap complete for these races. And there's 20 more to go, Lenocious.
Yeah. Lots of action on that first lap. We lost a couple, but for the most part, these guys sticking true. The straight line speed of the Supra, we're seeing it up against the Porsche. They're bumper to bumper here. Livingspiel and Budsy. Is Budsy going to get it through? Late breaker, is that too deep? No, it's not. The Porsche goes through into P2. Great stuff from the isnt Esports driver. Slots himself into the second position on the podium. And
Sizzling, sorry to interrupt, Sizzling Sausage has decided to go for a bit of a move out into the barrier at turn 1. So he's been reset to track, sadly, and that is going to put him way down and with damage as well.
Oh dear, for the Black Rose driver there. Very unfortunate, you hate to see it, but Budsy, he's reeling in Stranger. That gap already under 2 seconds now. Budsy on an absolute charge in the early stages of this race.
You're right. The Alpha is going to be... the Alpha's always been really good on the tyres and the fuel, so with such a good start there, the Stranger can really exercise his legs in terms of strategy execution here.
Oh, big move in the background for Carbon Boy. He tried to chuck down the inside. Oh! Contact between Carbon Boy and Bumcrack. Just a little rear tap from Carbon Boy on Bumcrack, and now that leaves Carbon Boy vulnerable to Boy Begum, who slots it down the inside coming into Spoon. Is he able to get the move done? Yes, he is. The CP Motorsports drive. No, Carbon Boy's holding it around the outside, but I think Boy Begum's going to go through. Yes, he does. He eventually gets that move done. Carbon Boy on the back foot a little bit. That puts him under pressure from the Deeds car behind. Same machinery.
Oh, the Stranger's off. The Stranger's off.
Oh dear, the leader.
The leader is gone. By the way, that was beautiful driving from Boy Begum and Carbon Boy. Very respectful by our leader in the Stranger. He's gone. He's right down at the bottom. He'll be getting caught up. Well, actually, no, he won't be getting caught up by Sizzling Sausage, but the Stranger, he's got front damage on both tyres and the front splitter. He is a goner now in this race.
Dear, that's heartbreak for the Alpha driver. He was so close onto something. He had a gap of the guys behind, and he was on a charge, but now finds himself back down in P11.
We've also got to move here by... Oh, terrible for him, 100%. We've also got to move between two Supras going into turn 1, Prua and Liebenspiel at the moment. And this is turning into a nice four-way battle for the podium positions as well, as the 5-car train we've got behind there being led now by Boy Begum, then Carbon Boy, then Daz, then Black Project, and then Freelix. Looking like a very nice battle evolving here. But Budsy, he's been let loose. He can go for it now. And going purple too.
Yeah, he does currently hold the fastest lap of the race with a 10.862. So I imagine these guys would ramp up as the grip starts to come into the circuit. He's got 2.4 seconds to Liebenspiel in P2 at the moment, which Liebenspiel's just lost the position to Prua. Prua's chucked down the inside at that corner.
Degner 1 moves. I mean, you've got to have, like balls of steel. There's no other way of saying it. You've got to have balls of steel to go through at Degner 1. He's done it. Liebenspiel has respectfully given him the space to do it as well. So good driving by those two. And now Boy Begum's catching up to the back of Bumcrack, who's catching up to the back of Killer on Deleuze. So that 5-way battle turning into a 7-way battle rapidly. Daz is under attack by Black Project as well.
Absolutely. So much action in this race at the early stages. Black Project and Freelix already starting to peel their way through the pack on their recovery drives. They're not too far out of the question either. Still 6 seconds to the leaders. So this isn't out of the question for Black Project and Freelix just yet. They're still in this.
Correct, and Pruitt has actually been getting some mega drives out of the corners like Spoon. Very fast through 130R and 200R as well. So he is on a charge now, and Budsy is starting to lose a bit of time. Having Liebenspiel behind him will now give him the sort of push that he needs to really start making some time up. Very tricky thing to do with these Group 4 cars. They're, not the fastest things out of a corner, but, you can really put the pedal down. If you get the angle right in the corner exit, then you can really get the power down early, and that looks like what Pruitt is doing. The gap's now down to 1.6 seconds. Has Budsy got a bad exit? I think he has.
As Boy Begum sets the fastest lap of the race of a 2:10.2 as well. Very quick from the CP current. As we'll just have a look on the Next Level Racing action replay at that move from, what is this? That's the move from Carbon Boy, clipping the back of Bumcrack there at the hairpin. And yeah, it seems like everything's well in there. Those guys have managed to sort it out, so continuing on a pair of them.
Now, do we have a replay of what happened to the Stranger? Because that would be one that I'm interested in seeing. It was just on the back straight after Spoon. I wonder if he just got a little bit sideways out on the exit of Spoon and just ran it a bit wide and went for a spin. He was doing that, a little bit of that in practice, not at that corner, but it was happening. But if we can't get a replay, then we'll have to just speculate.
Yeah, unfortunately not. We missed that one. We only saw him going slow on the inside of the track on the exit of the corner. So, yeah, heartbreak for the Alpha driver there. As we'll have a look at lap 1 when Black Project and Freelix went off track when there was a lot of chaos. And it looked like there was a little bit of contact with the ISA car as well with Freelix. And then Freelix tried to hang it around the outside. And then it looked like Black Project just followed Freelix straight off the track, so unfortunately for those two as well there.
Easy to do at Degner 1. I mean, you're pretty blind coming into the corner if you've got a car right ahead of you, so the braking zone creeps up on you rather quickly. It's a very precise area to be braking at, and yeah, so very unfortunate for Black Project as well, who was, potentially in for quite a good result, qualified P5, and Pruitt's just gone wide. Liebenspiel's going to try and attack him at the Casio Triangle, but can't make a move happen. But Pruitt is compromised there at the moment, so he'll have to get a good exit here. This is letting Budsy run away with it again. Gap was momentarily down to 1.5 seconds, and I was going to reference the 2:11.7 lap that was done by Budsy the previous lap, but now he's back and set the fastest lap again, a 2:10.214, so being traded between a few on the grid at the moment, but Budsy is just on an absolute send right now.
Absolutely. As we'll just have a look at, I believe it was lap 2 with the move from Budsy on Liebenspiel into turn 1. What a move this was as well. Budsy late breaker down the inside, got the car turned in, and that was all she wrote for the battle between Budsy and Liebenspiel. So Great work between those two to keep it clean, and Budsy just slot himself into what ended up being P1 there. So nice stuff between those two.
You're right, he was actually looking to be falling away still from the Stranger, so the Stranger just had an immense amount of speed at the start of the race. Did start to slow down, I think, to start conserving those tyres and consolidating the lead of the race, but yeah, a big send there by Budsy, and it worked out. You know, when you're opportunistic, you're opportunistic. Leavensfield, by the way, has just gone purple in Sector 1 and Sector 2. They start to enter Sector 3 now, right on the back of Prua still, so Prua has not escaped the graphs here of Leavensfield at this stage of the race. And oh, big move there, Bumcrack and Boybegum. Boybegum's managed to make the move happen, but not without contact between him and Bumcrack. And this is bringing Black Project in as well. It's a three-way battle for P5, Lenocious.
Big battle between here. As also something's happened to Freelix, and he's down in P11 all of a sudden.
That is not a good situation for Freelix to be in. He was running much higher in the grid. Maybe a bit of contact or a spin around. We'll have to unfortunately speculate on that one as well. But this battle for P5, this is going to be a bit crazy. Coming up to 130R, side by side is Bumcrack and Boybegum. Black Project right behind. Oh, be careful. Oh, they
he doesn't concede. Black runs wide. And is he going to lose that position too? Oh, huge! Oh, that's a massive hit into the wall for Bumcrack. Oh dear.
The championship leader, yeah, in the barrier. Oh my goodness.
On lap 5 of this one, Bumcrack has had a monumental crash with the wall. The Kraken Esports car, that might be a bent chassis.
Yeah.
Dear.
Yeah, that was a big hit there into the barrier. I mean, super brave and challenged Boybegum to basically a drag race around 130R. Ran wide and just touched that one little bit of tyre onto that grass at the exit after the curb. And that was all she wrote. He had no control of the car and then was a passenger into the barrier. I feel sorry for Bumcrack. That is a big blow. He's got now a huge amount of work to do to get back up this grid somehow, because he's currently leading our championship, now down, I believe, in about P11 now. Yes, he is.
Fortunate for him, though, he does have a couple of cars in front of him, so it's not the end of his race. There's 16 seconds to the lead, but that might be tough ask to win the race, but he can at least try and salvage a result with a multitude of cars just sitting in front of him on track as well.
Exactly right. Speaking of the podium positions, Lenocious, P2, P3, P4 currently all going at it. Leavensfield just had a bit of contact with the rear bumper of Prua. He got tapped slightly in the hairpin. Now going through 200R they are at the moment, and Leavensfield is not letting Prua go, and Kill On Deleuze is right in this battle, so he can keep it reasonably chill, drive safely, and maintain those tyres. But these three Supras now going at it.
Absolutely. So, how do you feel about an APR tyre and fuel update, CGK?
I think it's probably about time. So let's get to our APR fuel and tyre update for today's stream. We'll have another one later in this race. Lap 6 at the moment. And currently Budsy in the lead of this race. He's on racing medium tyres. They're reasonably healthy. His right front are looking a little bit more worn at about 50% or 60% usage, I should say. And he is currently sitting on about 65 or just under 70% of his fuel. In comparison, Prua in P2, also on the racing medium tyres, equal tyre degradation though to Budsy. So they are both using tyres at the same rate, but unfortunately Prua is using fuel at a significantly faster rate, now at 55% fuel as they go into turn 1. Leavensfield also on the... Oh, Leavensfield's tucking her nose in there.
He's known as wide hips, and he's holding his position on this occasion.
He certainly has. Wow, Leavensfield was really eager there. He really wanted to get that nose in there, and he held it in there as much as possible, but Prua really just sort of slammed the door shut and said, nope, you want to get your nose in there, mate, you're going to get a bruise. So well done there from Prua. Great defensive stuff going on. So, to continue our APR fuel and tyre update, Leavensfield there, who just stuck a nose in, he's doing very well on his racing medium tyres. He's only worn them through about 80% so far, so doing much better than the top two on their tyres. All the top three currently running racing mediums. But Leavensfield is slightly worse off on fuel, but only ever so slightly compared to Prua. Prua's on about 51%, Leavensfield's on about 49%. Is that a big send? It is!
Looking for the switchback, he gets it done. still holding his position, and Livingspiel gets run out of road. And that leaves him susceptible to Killer on the Loose, who goes through on Livingspiel.
And look who's behind Liebenspiel now as well. It's Boybegum and Black Project. They are right there. I'm glad that we're doing this part of the fuel and tire update on these cars because this battle is mega.
Absolutely.
All right, so to continue, while the action continues to go in the background, of course, everyone will be continuing to watch that bit of bumper-to-bumper action going on. Killer on the Loose now in P3. He's on the racing medium tyres, got the same degradation as Liebenspiel behind, and he's doing better on fuel than both Pruer and Liebenspiel. Boybegum in behind on this, also doing very well on this racing medium tyres. Here we go.
Looking for a move into 130R. Oh, very lucky that he did not attempt that.
Hold your breath, folks, because, I mean, maybe we need to hold the fuel and tire update until this is done. The notion, I can't get a word in here. Too much action happening between these five. Crikey, that is so brave. I mean, sticking a nose up there, threatening it, can really compromise the person you're trying to overtake into 130R. So
this opportunity as well, by the looks of things. Livingspiel showing the nose. Does he chuck down the inside? No, he doesn't. Holds off for now.
Oh, Boybegum is sitting behind there, just rubbing his hands together, going, "Yep, please do this, chaps. Please go right ahead. Fight as much as you like, because I'm sitting back here and staring down a podium position." By the way, Killer on the Loose now up into P3. So, in terms of Boybegum, let's talk about him for a second. 75% on his tyres. Now, bear in mind, we have had more than a lap now of the fuel and tyre update at this stage, so things are getting a little bit interesting. But he's doing a little bit worse off than tyres than Liebenspiel and Killer on the Loose, and he's really chugging through his fuel at the moment. He's down at nearly 40% of his fuel. The others are well above that. And then Black Project, who's still in behind as well. Unfortunately, he's worst off on tyres here, but he's on the racing soft, so a first of the racing soft runners. Bear in mind, he did have an off earlier in this lap. Oh, this is getting close. Hold on, Aloysius, you need to take over for the heaven. This is getting tight.
As Boybegum, he tries to hold the position, but Livingspiel! He holds the inside line, but Boybegum tried it around the outside at the hairpin, but it didn't quite work. We have 6-7 cars within 3 seconds of one another.
Absolutely bonkers stuff, and I had to hold my breath once again because that is just brilliant stuff. Liebenspiel going very defensive. Boybegum takes a look up the inside into Spoon, but has no way to get past. It would have been the mightiest ascend of the century there if he did, in fact, go for a move. But now let's talk about Black Project again. He's the first of our racing soft runners. He's got most fuel out of all of these guys ahead of him. So he's saving a bit of fuel here at the moment. But his tyres are very worn. He's on 20% on both his front tyres remaining in terms of grip. So his racing softs are very much dead. Everyone else is on mediums ahead of him.
Livingspiel on Killer on the Loose. Oh dear. There's a little bit of contact. Very pushing shove. Killer holds his position, and now Boybegum goes through on Livingspiel. Oh wow, Livingspiel running backwards. He's trying to make moves, but it's just falling further and further out of his grip the more moves he tries to make it. Now he looks for a move on Boybegum, Boybegum looks for a move on a Killer on the Loose. Up into the podium places goes Boybegum. Wow,
what a drive back. What a drive back this has been from him. Oh, contact. Carboy hits the back of Black Project, who hits Liebenspiel. Oh, Carboy will have to redress that position. This has let Daz through, though. Oh, my goodness.
This is complete gloves off racing. Black Project running out of room. Carbon Boy stuck on the outside, and who's that in the background? Strangers back into things as well.
Oh my goodness, Locious, what are we? This is going to be the longest APR fuel and tyre update ever in Sector 1 history, I suspect, because we're too enthralled by the action going on here. To Degner they go.
Oh wow. As Carbon Boy shows the nose to Black Project, can't quite get it done. But oh wow.
Oh, this is stunning stuff. This is absolutely nail-biting action. Black Project going to try around the outside.
The inside of Daz has to hold out, but now he tries around the outside, hoping for a switchback. That prayer isn't answered. He has to try around the outside.
Oh, Daz though.
Oh no! Daz,
yeah, Daz
was slow on exit. Black Project ran up the back of him, and he's been shown out to the grass.
He has been, yeah. Daz maybe not so aware that Black Project was going to have the exit speed there and to sort of close it off. And yeah, Bumcrack is about to go past Black Project. So Black Project's gone from mid-pack to bottom of the pack, to basically the top of the pack, essentially, and now back into P10. It's been quite the up and down race for Black Project so far. Bumcrack now coming back into things. And if these chaps keep fighting up here, Bumcrack is going to be well within this group in a matter of laps. Whoa. Right, well, I would take a breath on Lucius, but...
Yeah. Oh, no.
I would take a... Oh dear, okay, so we have lost, unfortunately, Lenocius from the lobby, so he will have to rejoin the race. So hold on, folks, we will get you back in the race in just a second. Do not worry. And for the moment, I will bring you some radio-style telemetry to continue the APR fuel and tire update until we are back in the race. So, continuing where we left off, Carbon Boy on the racing mediums, 50% on his tires at the moment. He's at 40% of his fuel. Daz, who's come all the way through into this, is on 50%. He's on racing mediums as well. 45% of his fuel. The Stranger has started on the racing mediums as well. He's got 90% left in his tires, which is an absolute ton, a ton of racing mediums left to go. He's at 24% of his fuel, though, so he's used a lot of that fuel to try and catch back up the pack. Bumcrack behind on 10% of his tires. He started on the racing softs. For him and Black Project, the only two soft runners at this stage of the race, he's at 26% of his fuel. Then Black Project again, who's nearly out of tires now. Freelix is in P11 currently on fresh racing softs. I think I know what's happened, Lucius, to Freelix. I think he's come into the pits because his racing softs are looking very, very fresh on this stage of the race. He's setting turbo times and has taken the fastest lap of the race in 2:10.006. Then Sicilian Sausage on racing mediums, looking very, very dead with especially burnt out front right tyre on 24% of his fuel. By the way, Freelix came out of the... Oh, Freelix has had a moment at deck there. Oh, that was close. He's come out with 49% of his fuel on board. The best person on fuel so far out of all of them, who hasn't pitted yet, is Black Project on 45% of his fuel. So looking to save time in the pit stops is Black Project. Are you back in now? Yes you are.
Only problem is that the lap counter says that it's lap 1 again, but I'm sure that'll sort itself out when everybody has 21-minute lap times at the moment. So
that's right. We are on lap 10, just so everyone knows we're on lap 10 at the moment.
Hopefully it sorts itself out. Praying it does. But as
Fingers
these
are
guys
crossed.
come through 130 up, Brewer holding on to P2 as he has a massive train behind him. He's been backing up the entire field at this point in the race. At least that's what it looks like from the aerial.
Oh no, you're absolutely right. He's been the cork in the bottle, so to speak. And that bottle of champagne, the contents being Boybegum, Killer on Deleuze, and Levenspiel, who are all very, very keen. Oh yes, the Stranger is in. Boybegum, though, looking around the outside, turn 1.
Brewer shuts down the inside, holds the position.
Oh, he's run wide.
Gets the move done, and the Killer goes through on Brewer as well. No, Brewer holds the position from Boybegum. And I have no idea where anybody is because it says that Stranger, Bumcrack, Black Project are 1, 2, and 3. So
yeah, okay. I'll tell you what. I'll run through and give you guys the order at the moment. We've got Bumcrack, Black Project in the pits as well as the Stranger. Budsy, of course, in the lead. Boybegum now from the P2. Brewer 3rd. Killer on Deleuze 4th. Levenspiel 5th. That's the main battle pack going on for the podium positions. Carbon Boy in 6th. Daz in 7th. Freelix in 8th. Black Project in 9th.
Okay, it has sorted itself out now, which is nice.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay, good. We were going full radio-style broadcasting there for a little bit, but thank you everyone for bearing with us at this stage. One of the reasons that Boybegum has gotten through so well is he's got much, much fresher racing medium tyres, but he is very low on fuel in comparison to Brewer, while Brewer has no tyres and plenty of fuel. So they're both kind of opposite sides of the same scale at this stage of the race.
This leaderboard is just crazy. It just keeps saying that Stranger is in P1 occasionally, so...
I think it's getting confused with lap 1 and lap 11, which we're on now, isn't it?
Yeah,
that definitely seems to be...
It's just having a bit of a moment. But I think it's sorted itself out.
Let's hope. Otherwise we're going to go partly radio-style broadcasting, partly modern-day broadcasting. But a quick note here, Budsy, now out to a 7.3 second lead, so everyone fighting behind has given him a huge advantage in this race. He's running very low on his racing mediums now, but plenty of fuel on board. So he's got time to burn at this stage. Boybegum, though.
We're back. We've got the
lap
counter. Yes, and everyone's in.
Yes. Woohoo! All right,
Let's-
celebrate in
let's-
chat, clapping hands in chat, everyone.
There we go. The lap counter has returned. Order has been given.
Order restored. The autocrats will be very, very happy.
As Budsy is leading the way at the moment with an 8.8 second lead over Killer on Loose.
You're right. We've got Boybagum and Pruitt into the pits now, so that lets Killer on Loose go at this stage. He's still got Liebenspiel behind him, but the gap for Budsy continues to expand at the moment. So, yeah, some of the medium runners, we're on lap 12 now, so there's 9 laps left in this race. This is the crossover point, jumping on the softs. You've got to make them last those little shifts, and at this track, it's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, lap 12 or lap 11, I mean, fresh softs, you're looking at about 9 laps, but on the floor fuel loads, they might be able to stretch it for 10. So I imagine the rest of these soft runners will be jumping in this lap because they should be able to make those softs last 9 laps. Hopefully. Judging by the tyre wear on the mediums as well, that's probably sounding about right. So we'll just have to wait and see who jumps into the pits on this occasion. Somebody's in the pits as well, so isn't Sausage just putting some fuel into his car before everyone's going to go into the circuit.
Exactly right. I think Budsy will come out pretty cleanly from his pit stop. He's got a good lead over everyone in the race at the moment. I think he'll probably come in this lap, but he's on 24% of his fuel, so he's going to spend a lot less time in the pit lane than others have on track, as he's used a lot less fuel than most around him. For a comparison, behind him, Killer on Loose, while he's got better tyres, he's only got about 15 or 14% of his fuel remaining, so we'll have a few more seconds. Oh yes, Liebenspiel behind him. Here we go.
Showed the nose coming into 130R, and now he's got the inside, well, the outside line that will turn into the inside on the second part of the chicane, but he goes for the switchback. Killer runs wide, and he slots in behind Liebenspiel up into P2. Budsy peels into the pits. How many of these guys will come in? They all will, by the looks of things.
Everyone is coming in. Yeah, that's the top 5 all into the pits. Next across the line will be Freelix, who's running on very degraded, I should say. English is the thing. The guy with the English accent should be able to get some words right at some point. But the racing soft's very degraded. He's got plenty of fuel on board, 25%. He will actually go up and maybe take provisional lead of this race, but he will have to pit again. So this is just provisional.
So adding another lap to his tally of laps led in the Sector 1 race here, Freelix.
Certainly is.
20 seconds over Black GT calculations. 9 seconds is the gap to Black Project. 8. Yeah, it comes down to 8. At 8, and then Brewer comes out at a second and a half behind Black Project. Of course, he pit on the previous lap. Wait, Boybagum. Something's happened to Boybagum. He's down in 7th
Something has happened to Boybagum. I think he's so Boybagum was on very, very low fuel compared to the rest of the grid, so he has had to spend a lot more time. He's actually taken 80% fuel. So the rest of them are all sitting on about 65 or 60% of their fuel, but the only person who isn't is Pruitt, and Pruitt has managed to come out. I think Pruitt was saving quite a lot of fuel as well, so didn't spend a lot of time in the pit lane, but Boybagum will have a lot of fuel to run the rest of this race. The others might have to be a little bit concerned with their fuel levels, or they should mostly be fine, but that's why Boybagum has dropped so far down the field. He'll have to get past Killer on Loose. Calm Boy's picked up a penalty, 0.5 seconds, running wide at Degna 2. That's going to cost him quite a bit, because he was up in P5 and looking very healthy to maintain that position. By the way, Black Project was the biggest saver, I said this before, biggest saver of fuel of everyone, and that is why his pit stop was so much better. He's launched himself up into P3, but he's on the racing mediums now, so he'll be fighting off fast-running, racing soft tyre strats behind him.
With the move on, Killer on the Loose into Spoon. No, can't quite get it done. Sorry to interrupt you there, CGK.
No, sorry, it was quite the thought train. The strategies are evolving at a rate of knots here, so we're not getting a lot of time for anything really at the end of the day, are we?
A little bit of push and shove with Boybagum on Killer on the Loose, but Killer holds onto the position at the moment. McLaren beaming down behind, looking for the move, but what's happened to Carbon Boy?
Served the penalty served, so 0.5-second penalty served.
Of course. But now that leaves him vulnerable to the 2 cars behind. That's going to be tight. Darren looking for a move as well. Killer, go over the curve. That might come with an invoice from the stewards.
Certainly might. got into the side of Boybegum as well, did Killer on the loose, but they do manage to get through. Carbon Boy is let off the line there, unfortunately, but now Boybegum's going defensive. He knows how fast that Super is, and he's in a McLaren.
Turn 1 is a matter of who can brake later.
Oh, there's been contact though.
Oh,
Boybegum's been run wide by Killer on the loose.
And now Daz goes through on Killer potentially. He has the run on him. But Killer making his Super as wide as possible, backing up the 3 cars behind him.
Well, this is unbelievable. We're talking about the race here for P6 at the moment, but just ahead of them is P5, and just ahead of them is P4 and P3. So the Stranger is at the back of this little fight here. He's in P10 currently. But if he gets this done correctly, oh, he's going to go for a move on Leavensfield. No, can't quite make it. But the Stranger is right in this, mate. He's still there.
Somebody needs to tell Stranger that his driver's not been in vain at this point, because it might say that he's 10th. But that being said, he is like 2 seconds away from a podium, essentially.
Correct. And by the way, speaking of podium positions, Black Project, who's in P3, under huge pressure from Prua. Keeping my Pruas and my pressures mixed up here. But Black Project is now under massive pressure. Those medium tires, you know, he's got to do another 7 laps in this race, and already the racing soft tires of Prua and those behind are going to be catching up with him massively. Whoa! Exeter Spoon, nearly a move there from Prua. He's going to have a great run down to 130R. Are they going to go side by side? They might do.
Looks like Prua's got the run on the Blacklight driver, and with better grip on those soft tyres, it's going to be tight one. Is Black Project going to pull out? He's going to have to concede. Yeah, obviously. No, not obviously. He tried to stick it in there, but... And if we just have a look up front as well, Felix peels into the pits. I believe he's doing a 2-stop strategy here, but that gives Budsy the lead once again. And we'll wait till they cross the line to see just how much of a gap Prua has to Budsy.
Yeah, Felix has set, had
11
set the fastest
seconds.
lap in this race. Oh, that is a big gap. Budsy dominant here at Suzuka. I mean, he's kind of just been let off the hook. I mean, he got through. The Stranger ended up crashing into a wall early on. Got through Levenspiel early on as well with a great move into Degna 1. And the rest of them have just been fighting for P3 and P2. And that's let them just disappear.
Yeah, absolutely. As things are starting to spread out a little bit, we've still got those hot pocket packs where there's like 3 or 4 cars that are just sort of sitting in that no man's land with quite a while in front and quite a while behind, but these guys still going at it. And it's
The Stranger has had another issue because he's now fallen well behind. Bumcrack's up to P9 now. So the Stranger has had something else go wrong. He was right at the back of this battle pack for P9876. He's now well off that, another 7.7 seconds down the road. So he was in it potentially, but he's kind of taken himself out again, sadly.
Absolutely, but we've still got 3 or 4 cars in this pack. I mean, it's sort of 3 packs of 2 or 3 now.
It's rapidly going to become one, though. I mean, I tell you right now, Carbon Boy has reduced the gap to Black Project in a matter of laps by seconds at this stage, and Black Project is starting to fall away from Prua. So Black Project's P3 now is looking very much on the line. Prua's pretty much guaranteed that P2 if he can bring it home without crashing. Carbon Boy rapidly catching up. Boybegum is right behind Carbon Boy. So by the time Carbon Boy and Boybegum catch up to Black Project, Killer on the loose may well have caught up to the back of Boybegum. And then he's got Daz and Levenspiel right behind them, with Bumcrack sitting behind them as well. So this could come to quite the conclusion here, Lavocious.
My sort of line of thought runs towards Prua in P2 with Carbon Boy in P4. Now, Prua!
Oh my goodness.
That was very close to ending up in a fate similar to Bumcrack earlier on in this race. But as I was saying, Prua is sort of not leaving touch with Black Project as much as he would like. Now, is it sort of coming down to, is Prua potentially backing up Black Project so that Carbon Boy, his teammate, is able to get through on the Blacklight driver?
I think it might partly be that, and then partly another issue here for Prua is that he's chomping through his tires at a massive, massive rate here. He's not doing anything to look after them, and that's making the racing mediums of Black Project to be much, much more effective than they should be against Prua at this stage. So Prua, being behind Black Project, has used a lot more of his tires trying to get past him, and that is now really costing him, because Carbon Boy behind is on precious as anything. They had 90% grip still remaining in the tyres here for Carbon Boy. So he'll have better tyres at the end of this race than both Black Project and Prua, because those mediums are not going to last forever. They will last a lot longer than Prua's soft zone. 50% on his tyres, Aloysius, and he's run wide at negative 2.
That gap dropping down 1.3 seconds to the second Obsession Motorsports car. Black Project, he's still putting up a fight for this P2 position.
He can do it. I mean, if he can get ahead of Prua and then make Prua be the one who has to battle Carbon Boy, Supra versus Supra, both on soft tyres, but Prua with worse tyres, but defending, that could let Black Project off the hook here. It could send him a few seconds up the road, which will be critical right at the end of this race. So it is still on here. P3 still on potentially for Black Project, but yeah, Carbon Boy in the last lap has taken that gap from 2.5 seconds to 1 second. He's now going to get slipstream in that lovely, lovely Toyota of his.
Absolutely. But they need to be careful here as well, Carbon Boy, because Boybagum is sort of hanging in the wings as well. And that Boybagum is proving that he's been a quick operator all race, starting last. Could he potentially come back for a podium? As these four cars, they've pretty much become one pack now.
Yeah, exactly right. Oh, and Killer on the Loose in the background has gone into the barrier at the Casio Triangle. He was fighting with Liebenspiel. They went side by side through 130R, but he is now
Daz
in the barrier.
is gone as well, maybe?
Oh, Daz is still there.
He's just lagging.
Thank goodness,
He's just lagging.
He is just a bit laggy, you're absolutely right. Yeah, so Killer on the Loose, that has cost him massively, and that lets Liebenspiel go for P6. Oh, here we go. Here's the fight, because you're right, the pack of 4 is now a 4-pack of beers. They are boxed together. Prua the bottleneck. Black Project still managing on his racing medium tyres. He's the only racing medium runner in this top pack of 4 at the moment. Boybagum is right in it as well. He's about half a second behind Carbon Boy, and Carbon Boy will now be looking to get past Black Project and charge after that P2 position. Carbon Boy he's got the tyres to do it. He could well be in for a P2 finish here. It really just depends on whether he can get past Black Project and Prua.
I would imagine if it came down to it, Carbon Boy over Prua, whether Prua would let through Carbon Boy. I don't know. It's a tough call to make, but I know these guys more than anyone else on this grid, and I think that's something they would potentially do. Wide hips, it's something he's known for. He would put everything on the line to keep those two behind.
Yep, wide hips, and he might...
Oh, Carbon Boy runs wide! Boybagum's through! The drag race between the McLaren and the Toyota 86. Is Carbon Boy losing out here? I think he's got the slipstream, so he might be able to pull ahead. He's got the inside of the corner. Is he able to come across? Boybagum sticks it through. Carbon Boy chops off the nose. This is very, very good defensive driving from Carbon Boy here to keep himself in front of the McLaren. Of course, the Toyota 86 slightly straight line speed compromised, but manages to keep in front of the McLaren on this occasion.
Now, I want to go back very quickly to Prua, because your comment earlier on backing up Black Project into him, I get the feeling that might be truer than I thought it was. Now, the reason I suspect that is because the fuel on board Prua's car is significantly higher. Oh,
through the background. Boybagum got shuffled wide. He's in the gravel. Oh, dear. That's huge in this race. Has to wait to let Daz through before rejoining the track.
Crikey, what happened there between those two? Unfortunately, I didn't catch that, but contact between Carbon Boy and Boybagum?
I think, I'm not too sure. I'll try and catch it. Oh, you can't really see it on the Next Level Racing Action replay, unfortunately. However, what I think happened was Boybagum got 2 wheels onto the grass, and runs wide at turn 1 as well, struggling for grip in those tyres. I think he put 2 wheels onto the grass and the rear end came round. I think.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like from the split second that we saw on stream in the background. But as it stands, Carbon Boy, he's knocking on the back door of Black Project, and the door opens up. Carbon Boy with the superior grip slides on through on the Black Knight driver. And now it's an Obsession Motorsports double podium here at Suzuka Circuit.
Very interesting to hear. Black Project has suffered from 2 things. One, I do believe that Prua may have been backing up Black Project a little bit. Whether it was intentional or not, I can't really tell. He's got tons of fuel on board, does Prua, but really bad racing soft tyres. Carbon Boy's got much better tyres, slightly less fuel, but Black Project He's at 15% of his fuel. He is fuel saving, mate.
Oh
Black
dear.
Project is fuel saving at this stage of the race.
And there's 3.5 laps left in this race, so yeah, that's tight. I don't. He's definitely miscalculated this, I should say. But and just behind him, 1.3 seconds, Levenspiel on for a P4 here as well. Could even be a P3.
That could be right, man. Look, we've got Carbon Boy now right behind Brewer. That he's in the slipstream and is going to do a little bit of bump drafting, so some teamwork between these two chaps here. Not going to risk it at 130R. Very smart thing to do. Let them get through nice and cleanly, but Black Project is really suffering. He's run wide. He's run very wide. He's going to hold it. Oh, he just holds it. Lievenspiel's right on the back bumper now. Lievenspiel's on much, much fresher racing soft tires. He's got more fuel on board. I think it's a matter of when, not if, here for Lievenspiel in P4.
Absolutely. Black Project, let's see what this lap time is. It's a 2:14, which is, I don't know what it is compared to its last lap,
I will check that. 2:14, it was a 2:11.2 was his previous lap for Black
3 seconds
Project.
down, so massive fuel save.
Yeah, massive fuel save, and Lievenspiel just, he just glided through. There was no effort required there. Black Project is short shifting. He's probably on a fuel map as well. He's on 8% of his fuel now with 3 laps remaining in this race.
Now, just to mention quietly, Frelix has done a 2:08.8 fastest lap.
Oh, wow. That is faster than our qualifying times, folks, because our qualifying times was a 2:08.867, so he's gone 4 thousandths of a second faster than Lievenspiel's best lap in qualifying. Impressive. Oh, Pro's run wide. Cowboy's going to go through.
Yes, he does. But there's only 2 laps remaining. Or as Pruitt tries to chuck it down the inside of Carbon Boy once again, but they can't fight too much because waiting in the wings just 1 second astray is Lievenspiel. Under a second now.
Under a second, and here's the real drop. Not only will he have slipstream, he's got more fuel and more tyres than both of them. So fighting at the stage between these two is a terrible idea. Get the team orders in there. Get the team principal out there. Send these chaps a message saying, work together or you're both going to lose out, or one of you will lose out a podium. Oh, and Prua's run deep into the spoon. Lievenspiel's going to get him.
Oh dear, Pruitt drops to P4. Lievenspiel back up into the podium places here.
Oh, and Pruitt is on 0% of his front tyres, both of them gone. He's driving on the rims at this stage. He's got enough fuel to get to the end of the race, but got 0 tyres. That's actually potentially going to bring Daz into it, but Lievenspiel through easily on Pruitt, not only because of his little mistake on the exit of Spoon there, but also because he's just got no grip, no tyres, no nothing. Carbon Boy is starting to get to that point too, but Lievenspiel's done a beautiful job. He's on 50% of all 4 tyres. It's a stunning job. He's in it for P2, Lievenspiel.
2 laps remaining in this one. It's going to be a chase between Lievenspiel and Carbon Boy to see who takes on to that second spot on the podium.
Meanwhile, Budsy, 15 seconds out the front and having the quietest race of his life.
Just enjoying life, to be honest. Yeah. Potentially
Back to
looking
the
up at
racing
the big screens at the last turn and turn 1.
That's exactly right. It has become incredibly sunny here as well, so that cloud that we had, the alpine mist, has disappeared. There will be a little bit more track temperature out there, a little bit more grip available, but nothing that's going to help Pruitt because his tyres are gone. There's nothing out there for him, sadly, and Daz is now within 3 seconds of him. Lievenspiel within 0.8 of a second now of Carbon Boy, so Carbon Boy is starting to suffer as well, and Carbon Boy is very low on fuel. But Lievenspiel is getting to that point as well. I think Carbon Boy is also fuel saving at this stage of the race. Lievenspiel's getting to the point where he'll have to maybe save a bit of fuel too. Black Project, by the way, he is slipped. Oh, he's got fuel map 6. He is half shifting, and he is now in P9. Bumcrack and Felix have just gone ahead of him.
As there's 7 kilometers to go, 7/10 between Carbon Boy and Lievenspiel. This battle could not be tighter at this point in the race. There will be 1 lap to go. It's going to be a 1-lap shootout between these two. Lievenspiel has the upper advantage of the car. However, Carbon Boy has the track position. It's going to be tight between these two as they barrel down towards 130R for the second last time in this 21-lapper.
Oh, I'm holding my breath here for Carbon Boy. This will be one of his best results in the season for P2. He needs to hold on to it, but he's got to find a way to save the tires, which is going to be increasingly difficult as the track temperature gets higher, and also as Levenspiel starts to pour on the pressure. It's like a...
Boys. Looks like he's escaped penalty-free for now. Here we go, the final lap of the race.
Here we go. Mr. CP asking in chat, has everyone used all 3 types of tyres? There's only racing mediums and racing softs required in this race. Everyone has used both compound at this stage of the race. By the way, Pruitt was 3 seconds ahead of Daz. Daz is now 0.3 of a second behind him. So just so you know that's going on. But the main battle here, Carbon Boy and Levenspiel, this is going to get very, very tight. Carbon Boy, can he hold on?
We'll have to see what happens. 0.3 now the gap. He just has 14 more corners to go.
Oh, Carbon Boy just keeps running wide into these corners. His grip is disappearing, and Levenspiel's just finding the wider line, putting the power down early, using his advantage. He's going to go up the inside here.
Oh.
Now going to be the outside of Degna. He's got the position. He's done it.
Levenspiel goes up into P2. Does Carbon Boy have a response? For now, just sitting behind. It looks like that's going to be run and done for Levenspiel. But Carbon Boy, he's going to have a couple more opportunities to get it stuck to the Red Mist driver here. Is he going to be too far at the hairpin? He tries around the outside looking for the switchback. Levenspiel goes defensive. Is he able to get this move done? Not quite on the exit. The straight line speed sacrificed Carbon Boy has left him high and dry on the run down towards Spoon.
Yeah, he's suffering on tires. He's suffering on fuel as well. He's trying to give it everything now. Levenspiel's not giving him an inch in return.
Has dropped all the way down to 6th. So that's massive for the Obsession Motorsports team owner. He was holding on to a P2, but now looking at a mid-pack finish. And Bumcrack only 2 seconds behind and closing in fast.
Hate to say it, but he's probably going to lose that position. Yeah.
Rounding the final corner, a dominant drive. Max Verstappen-esque as Budsy rounds the final corner, barreling down.
Boys, run wide.
Oh no!
Sorry to interrupt. Oh, he nearly dropped
P1.
it.
Levenspiel will take P2 here in extraordinary fashion. After a mediocre start, he'll come through on the recovery drive from P1 to P2. And Carbon Boy from Session Motorsports will take the podium. And these guys neck and neck for first, best of the rest. It's going to be neck and neck. Oh, Daz takes P4, Boybegum P5, Pruitt P6, holds on to his 6th position. Bumcrack 7th, Stranger 8th after all that. Freelix 9th. Black Project rounds the final corner, will come home in P10.
I had a heart and mouth moment there, Lenocious, because Carbon Boy ran very wide at 130 yard, nearly binned it, just like Bumcrack did. And I'm sure that Carbon Boy is going to tell us in a few moments once he gets out of this race and comes to race direct for Div 1 how close he was to losing that there.
As Loose is doing some burnouts in the final corner.
Oh, yes, he is.
Just getting
it's a bold strategy, Cotton. He's hoping to wind back time like Superman flying in reverse around the planet, and unfortunately it hasn't quite worked out for him. He's still in 11th spot here.
Yeah, it's crosses the line, and it will be Sizzling Sausage Hugh. He's had a tough one in tonight's race, but P12 will be the result for the Black Rose driver.
That was something else.
The start-finish line. And that concludes our Division 3 race here at Suzuka.
Whoa, well, I mean, it might conclude, but I tell you, the recovery is going to take a little bit longer than that, I suspect, Lenocious, because that was some race. I mean, cars separated by nothing all the way through the race. A couple of brilliant drives backs, I think, especially from the likes of Boy Begum. He went from the last on the grid all the way up to the top 5 in this race. Unlucky for Pruitt, unlucky for the Stranger. Budsy, very dominant performance there. Levenspiel, though, what a drive. What a drive from Levenspiel. Top stuff. And Carbon Boy, I believe that's the best result he's had this season.
Yeah, absolutely. As we'll have a look at the results at the moment. Budsy takes the win, as said multiple times by CGK.
Yeah, well, I can say it another time if you want.
Levenspiel takes P2 in the Supra And Carbon Boy for Obsession Motorsports comes home in P3. Daz for Deeds, a very quiet drive, but he's managed to come home in P4. So brilliant stuff
Impressive.
for Daz there. And Boybegum in the McLaren will be in 5th spot. Pruitt in 6th. Bumcrack in 7th. The Stranger 8th. Freelix 9th. Black Project 10th. Kieran on the Loose 11th. And Sizzling Sausage comes home in P12. Good pack there. So, who's your driver of the day, CGK?
Oh, it's a tricky one. The two picks that I've got that I'm sort of mulling in my mind at the moment, it's really between Levenspiel and Carbon Boy. I think Carbon Boy, with his best result of the season and on the podium, it's a very impressive drive. He did qualify down the order in P8. So that is a very impressive drive back from him, P8 to P3, and the best result of the season for him. So that's definitely certainly an honourable mention for me. Levenspiel as well did very, very well. He did unfortunately lose a position to Budsy, so it's a little bit hard for me to say he had the perfect weekend, but still a great drive back. I would say at the moment my driver of the day today is going to be Carbon Boy.
Carbon Boy, yep. I mean, equaling his season best result here tonight. So pretty good for Carbon Boy, and in the 8.6, of course. So he's been showing some good pace, and to come out here and get that P3 today and almost holding on to the P2, just losing it on the final lap was great stuff from Carbon Boy. I mean, I can't give it to him as he's my teammate, but I think I'm going to give my driver of the day to Levenspiel. It's his best result in his Sector 1 career, I believe.
That is correct.
His 3rd or 4th race here. So, I'm giving mine to Levenspiel. P1 in qualifying and P2 in the race. It's,
yeah.
Congrats.
And chat agrees with you as well. We've got about 5 votes for Levenspiel, a couple for Daz in there as well. So I think chat agrees with you there 100%. So, but what a race that was. I mean, so much action on track. We only did one APR fuel and tire update, and it was the slowest one in Sector 1 history, as I understand it.
Yeah. So
took us about 5 laps.
Driver of the day, Levenspiel from Snake Eyes.
Yes.
Driver of the day, Budsy. Wait, no, that's a congratulations, Butsy. Driver of the day, Levenspiel from Robert Rice. Driver of the day, Daz from Karen. Driver of the day, Daz from Shizer. Driver of the day, Levenspiel from Debrev. Driver of the day, Levenspiel from Matthew.
Driver of the day, Levenspiel from Carbon Boy. That was a phenomenal effort.
Was indeed. We really thought that you had a good chance there to hold him off, but he just had superior tires, unfortunately. But yeah.
I was praying he might make an error and sort of let me have the P2, but not to be, unfortunately. It was me who made the error and let him just slide on through.
Yeah, well, I've got to ask you very quickly about the final lap, 130R. How close were you to having a very big moment there? Because it looked close, and I had my heart in my mouth, holding my breath at that point.
There was a certain part of my body that was puckered up very tightly.
Yes, rightly so, because that was a moment.
Yes, I figured I've already lost the P2. That's okay. I just need to keep it pointed in the right direction so I don't lose any more.
Yeah.
That was the objective.
Is there a little bit of team orders in the Obsession Motorsports chat there, Carbon Boy, or?
And just bear in mind, this is a public forum.
No, we were in a party chat, just keeping an eye on each other and what's going on around us. And for the most part, when I was catching up to Pruski, I'd just give him a little nudge down the straight, just help him along, with how slow that super is in a straight line.
Yeah.
That's very kind of you.
Yes, but eventually he did run a little bit wide, and I just politely said, "I'm coming on through."
Yeah. So that's all from...
No team orders.
Yeah. That's all from Division 3 of the first 11 rounds of this season. So the drop rounds will come into effect after tonight, and they'll be published shortly. But for now, Division 1 isn't too far away, so we're just going to duck off for a quick intermission, have a bit of a short break, and then we'll be back for all the Division 1 action. So don't go anywhere, guys. 5 minutes time, we'll be back. Or wait, 5 minutes or 10 minutes? Your call, Carbon Boy, because you are the race director for Division 1.
Let's go with 7 minutes.
7. I can't really do that. Well, let's just...
Let's
can't
go with
believe-
5, and we'll just
No
talk a little bit.
compromise from our no compromise from our broadcaster. It's one or the other. Binary decision.
All right. Well, you know what? I'm just gonna. Okay. Yeah, we'll go 7 minutes. Okay, just to. Okay, we'll go 7 minutes. That's what we're doing. 1 second. Oh, I don't even think I can do 7 minutes. Guys, you've.
Just go 5 minutes because it's already been 2 minutes. So
Yep. Okay. Okay. Special thanks to CGK as well for helping us out here in Division 3. So
My
we'll
pleasure.
Be right back,
My pleasure
guys.
as always.
We'll be right back, guys, for Division 1. So it's going to be a 5-minute intermission here. So we'll be right back, guys. Not too long to go, and we'll have some Division 1 racing action for you. Bye, guys. Hello, everybody. We are back for the second half of tonight's proceedings for our Division 1 race. The main game, the big number one, Division 1 here tonight at Suzuka Circuit. We've just had our Division 3 race concluding, and now we have Division 3 driver become race director here in the comms box, Mr. Carbon Boy. How are we tonight?
Slightly dehydrated at this point. That was an absolutely grueling race tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it looked at it. It seemed like a tough race, and I don't know how the weather is down there for you, but for me, it is a stinking hot day. So,
In my lounge room at the moment, I think it's a balmy 24 degrees.
oh, I forgot that 24 is hot for you Melbournians.
We can't all have it good. Anyway, the Div 1 guys are looking fairly pacey as usual tonight. They've been champing at the bit in the test start that I am just currently running. So once they have gotten that out of their system, I will be punching that big freshly painted orange button and we will get qualifying underway.
I've just had a question. I've just had a thought, actually. Do you get wet paint on your fingers?
I use the very fast drying paint.
How fast? It must be like 20 seconds drying paint. Because you've only been in here for 15, 20 seconds.
It's the first thing I do when I walk through the comms box door, mate. I paint that button and then I go to the fridge to grab a beverage.
Okay, I mean, there's not a large selection in the fridge tonight, actually. I think it's just deeds after Karen's adventure here last week, eh?
Oh, no, they're in the bin now. I have replaced
Oh.
them with the finest beer known to mankind, which is Quad X.
Quad X. It's never heard
4X, sorry.
Yeah, never heard anybody call it that before, but yeah, continue.
And surely I jest. Yeah, not a fan. Oh.
Not a fan of deeds or Quad X.
Small confession, as much stick as I do give the Deeds Racing guys, Deeds Brewing does have actually a couple of fine drops in their lineup, so I can't give them too much flack. It is pretty tasty.
Credit where credit is due.
Yes. Some of them are absolutely terrible, like mainly the stuff Karen's a fan of. Love you, Karen.
The stuff that was in the fridge when we walked in.
Yeah, something about marshmallow, caramel, Rocky Road. I don't know.
Dear.
I like Rocky Road and I like beer. I don't like them together.
So while we have the chance, I think we should have a quick squiz at the Division 1 standings as they go into this final race. So as it stands, Geesh has a whopping 73-point lead over the next best car, which is GTR. And I think when drop rounds come into things, I have a feeling that Geesh has taken this championship. But we'll have the official calculations up. I think officially he needs to finish tonight, and then he will have won the championship officially. So as it stands, Geesh just needs to finish tonight, no disconnects, and he's won the championship. GTR in P2. Captain Muffin in P3 in the McLaren, the CP McLaren. Morgan Davey for Deeds in 4th place. Wakey 006 for Kraken Esports in 5th spot in the championship. Atom in 6th for Respawn Esports. Woody in 7th for Broku 5 Sim Racing. Ricky Bobby, the Obsession driver in the Div 1 field in 8th. Blind Man for Dadson is 9th in the championship. Lewis is 10th, the other Hunecorp driver. Corey Hack is 11th for Red Mist. Hellraiser is 12th. FAF 747 for Black Rose in 13th. And Scar, who is no longer with us in the championship, is P14 for Lightning Motorsport. And that is how these guys shape up at this stage, this late stage of the championship. Of course, only 2 races to go. The first being tonight here at Suzuka Circuit, where the drop rounds will take effect, and these guys will battle it out on the final race in 2 weeks' time. So that's how everything shapes up. Any thoughts on that order, Carbon Boy?
Nope. Sorry to give you such all deep and meaningful insight, but yeah, I've got nothing.
The order of the championship is the order of the championship.
That is correct. Those are facts. I cannot argue them. But what I can argue is, can we start qualifying?
No. Yeah, we can keep
Like I
these
said,
guys, yeah.
Like I said, I'm going to argue that, and I'm going to say yes. We are starting qualifying now.
I don't think too
Wait a
many
minute.
people in the chat have many objections. Do we have everybody? I think we've got 10 here tonight.
Yes, we have a
As-
slightly reduced grid tonight, with our teammate Ricky Bobby unfortunately having to miss this round. Who else are we missing tonight?
We are missing. We'll figure that out. I'm sure.
Anyway, the qualifying is about to get underway.
And qualifying is late. Sorry, blasting everybody's ears there. That was a slight misclick. So there we go. I accidentally turned the volume up for the car engine noises. But FAF, he's got a penalty coming out of the pits, unfortunately.
Yeah, he did jink to the left just that little bit too early and went over the last couple of meters of the pit line. So, but a 3-second penalty on your outlap is nothing to really worry about.
Absolutely. So just behind the Black Rose driver is Blind Man, the Datsun car in second on track, second one out of the pit lane. Young Wakey, third car out of the pit lane. Sporting the bright yellow banner on his windshield, representing he is the defending champion of Division 2 from last season. Not really defending, reigning. I do this every week.
Yes, reigning Div 3 champion.
2.
That's no, wait, what?
That's a different. So much confusion in this comms box. I love it. We both have
All right,
no idea
speaking of
what's going
Wakey,
on. Yeah.
he is right in behind FAF, who's carrying that 3-second penalty. Who's next on the road there, young Lenosis?
It is HC Atom, the big 222 for Respawn Esports. Fourth man out on track. Oh, that's a huge spin from FAF. Very poetic, I must say. We only caught the edge of that. We'll have a look on the next level racing action. What part of that we saw. We just sort of saw him spinning off the side, ran a little bit wide, and then ended up in the gravel trap. But yeah, just behind him we have TX3 GTR, and we can see Morgan Davey go past FAF as well, and the rest of the pack actually. See Lewis go through, Corey Hack go through, and just behind Corey Hack is the first of, I think it's the only Bronco 5 Sim Racing car here tonight, which they're running a super special livery here tonight. I need to fact check as to what this livery is from exactly. You might be able to help me out here, Carl.
It appears to be a red, white, and black livery.
That is very true. Somebody in chat will be able to tell us, and we'll be terribly embarrassed because I feel like we should know this one, but we don't.
Yes, if someone in the YouTube chat could just chime in and tell us exactly what this livery is based off, that would be very much appreciated, because I am a motorsport imbecile and I do not know these things.
By the C on the side, I might be embarrassing myself, but I believe it might be a livery based off of Touring Car Masters car. I think that's what the C on the side means.
I think we should stop guessing and just let the YouTube chat do its thing.
Karen says 1973 Tirana from Bathurst. Okay. I mean, that makes sense. It's Bathurst weekend. And
1973, that was before I was born. How am I supposed to know this stuff?
It's way before I was born, I'll tell you that much.
Anyway, should we get to the rest of the grid while they're on their first flyer?
Yes. Sheesh. The championship leader, the 333, is in a lot of open space at the moment. Just meandering his way around the circuit, and then he'll drop an absolute bomb, which you're about to see in a minute's time. So as it stands, young Wakey, he's leading the guys out on track. He'll be the first one to set a lap. The Division 3 reigning champion, according to as he rounds the final chicane. And down towards the finish line now. What's that going to
Gotta
be?
say, I'm incredibly impressed at that chicane. The line he's taken through there. That's just.
Yeah. As
There's a
Blind Man
downside to
crosses the
being in
line.
Division 3 because you race first, you don't get the chance to see the much faster guys how they take a line through certain sections. And Div 4, Div 2 guys, take note, pay attention to this because it could be very, very useful.
So Wakey Gate, guys. Young Wakey on provisional pole position, but I imagine not for long as Sheesh goes top of the times. Way to ruin our fun, Sheesh.
The 207.2, while it is blindingly quick, if I mean to induce a little bit of nausea here in the comms box, I have seen him go faster.
Yeah, that's true. How much faster can he go on the qualifying lap, though? That's the big question. Considering his first flyer was a 207.2. You reckon
With a little less fuel in the tank, I reckon there's another half a second in him.
I reckon so as well. I reckon another half a second should be enough.
That should be enough. Like a 207.2 is not enough already.
Maybe not. I mean, GTR's still getting a little bit wound up.
That is true.
GTR on his last pole. Is that a Brands hatch? Bring that
Oh, you're testing my memory here. That's not a great idea.
might have even been into numbers. Let's have a look. I'll get back to you guys on that one, but for now, these guys coming through for their second flying laps. It will be young Wakey who will set the lap first. He has a lot of open space to the car behind as well. Coming through the chicane now, where the car behind is only coming through 130 under.
That car behind is GTR, who is currently up on his personal best time. He's not quite purple, but I've got the feeling he's just getting started as he comes into the pits for a fresh set of tyres.
Sounds about right.
Well, those after 3 laps, those front tyres are not looking healthy. So if that's an omen of what's to come in the race, I have severe sympathy for those Michelins because they're not going to be happy campers after about half a dozen laps.
Yeah. So, the official verdict, GTR's last pole position was not at Brains Action. And it also wasn't at the pole after that, which was the race after at Willow Springs. It was actually as recent as round 8 in Spa. That's my pole position there.
Yes, I do remember that. I couldn't remember it
10
before I was.
seconds ago.
Yeah, no, I can remember things when I'm prompted, but off the cuff, yeah, I got nothing.
Yeah. As we're just riding on board with FAF at the moment, where after his spin on his outlap, he's able to slot himself into P5 at the moment, which is pretty right for the Black Rose driver. Behind him in the standings is Blind Man. He's got one of the was GCR, and there's Lewis coming up behind him. Hooncorp cars, I want to say.
The surprise for me at the moment is, well, it's a surprise for me a lot of the rounds, but Morgan Davies just currently sitting in P4 at the moment in the 8.6, which, you know, at a track like Suzuka, doesn't have the top end of the Supra, and is a tail-happy little mongrel at the best of times. Morgan Davies is doing a fantastic job wrangling this thing around the track. As
Absolutely.
he comes into the pits for a fresh set of tyres, because those
that'll
fronts
be
are looking
done.
a little worse for wear.
There's only 1 minute left in the session.
Yeah, a bit late there, I would say.
Didn't even go for another lap. That's very interesting from Morgan. It looks like he's just going to call it there. As GTR.
Woody's in the pits as well.
Atom goes quicker into P3, and GTR starting his flying lap now. And this will be the last lap for everybody here. Yeah, Morgan David just sitting in the pits and not doing it too much as Lewis goes Morgan to a wait 6. Jeesh on an outlap now will begin his flying lap momentarily. He does, and he's only set one flying lap, 207.2, but he's got a fresh pair of rubber on his car, and looking to improve, potentially going into the 206s, which rumour says he has gone into the 206s before in practice, so... GTR
Just a pair of rubber? Not a set? Just a pair?
Just a pair, just a pair.
Just a pair. He's gone the two right-hand side.
Yeah, a full set of tyres is a little bit outside of the race qualities, unfortunately.
Yeah, they spent a fair bit of money sending one of their members overseas for the World
I was about to
Series.
say that the flights to Amsterdam have bankrupted him a little bit.
I'm just riding on board with GDR here, coming through the second sector. He is a couple of tenths up on his best time. Not quite purple, but he might be able to pip Atom and maybe young Wakey at the post here.
Potentially, as he comes into Spoon, Jeesh is up as well, largely. So let's see what the sexy split is, which of course the timer is down near 130R, so it's right on board with and he
Oh,
is
he's purple. Oof.
So this could be the lap for GTR. He could take another pole position. He's still, of course, hunting for that record-breaking 11th. No, it's not 11th. He does have the record for pole positions, but he's... Wakey goes P2. Or holds on to P2.
He's been sitting there for a little while.
But improves. And GTR goes ahead of him by 100th of a second. Doesn't quite get Jeesh at all.
Just
But
lost
now-
that little bit of time after 130R or 140R that corner.
Before the chicane.
Yeah, the high-speed left-hander.
130R.
130R.
Jeesh. Okay,
or-
Jeesh. Okay, that's enough. Pack up the toys, go to bed, Jeesh. 2069. What a lap. That was an absolute blinder for Jeesh.
The only one we have on track, unfortunately, we're going to have to see out the full extent of the race timer because we have Morgan Davies in the pits.
Yeah. How long did you set the time?
The standard end of qualifying / end of race time is average race lap plus 30 seconds. So we're looking at about 2.5 minutes.
Sounds like a good time for me to jump back into the comms box, maybe, chaps.
Where did you come from? You scared the hell out of me, Crazy Good Kung
I
Fu.
know, I'm not usually here, am I, for Div 1, but it's just so exciting. I thought I'd jump back in. I just want to mention that HC Atom was up 0.53 of a second in Sector 3 by the time we got to Sector 3, and unfortunately lost it on 130R. And here's a question for everyone in chat, and for you chaps as well. What does the R stand for in 130R? I do know, but I'm going to put that question
I
out
know
there and
as
see
well.
you guys stew. Okay, you keep quiet then.
It's a quirk with all the Japanese tracks, how they name their corners like this.
It is.
Is it R for really terrifying?
Yes, you got it. You just ruined our game.
let's chat stew about that for a little bit. But it was a good qualifying to watch. It was. And I'd also say, just as a quick reminder back to the conversation you were originally having, this is why I race direct, because I get to watch Div 3 and then Div 1 the week before my division. So I'm much more prepared for those
It's
races.
strategic.
Exactly.
As we have a look at the results of that session. And as it stands, Jeesh takes the fastest lap and pole position for round 11 here with a 206.916. GTR joins him alongside on the front row of the grid. Where have I seen this before? What about every race at the start of the season, more like? Young Wakey takes P3 and Atom in P4. I mean, Wakey-gate looking better than ever at this point. But Morgan Davey in 5th. Lewis will start alongside him in 6th. Blind Man on the 4th row in 7th. FAF in 8th. Then the second half, or not really half, the remaining 2 is Corey Hack in 9th, and Woody rounds out the grid in P10 there. So that's how people line up for this one, and not a very strong showing for Woody there. Unable to really pull a lap together, unfortunately, but
I did see Diswood down in pit lane earlier. He appeared to be doing some sort of rain dance. I'm not sure if he's taken a look at the weather radar or not, but the chances of that are not real good. But good luck to him anyway. Hopefully his rain dance efforts pay off. As are we good to get this race underway, chaps?
yeah, just having a look at the radar at the moment as well, and can confirm no rain.
Rightio. Let's get this show on the road.
And while that's happening, I'll answer the question in chat. It's Radian. So we had a few close guesses, Radius and all that. Rap skills from Womble, points for creativity.
Yes.
But no, radians, meter radians is the measurement of the corner angle.
And a track like Autopolis, every corner on that track is named after that naming scheme.
It is, which is horrible.
That sounds like a very Japanese thing to do.
Yes.
Very much so.
All right, we are on the grid.
As they're lined up and ready to go. These guys, the light sequence has begun. 4 lights, 5 lights. They are out and racing here at Suzuka. Geesh gets off to a horrific start. Immediately gets jumped off the line by GTR and potentially Young Wakey as these guys barrel down towards the first turn. The Mercedes down the inside of everybody. Atom gets his teammate as well. This is a horrible start for the championship leader. Gets shuffled out wide again, and he's way down the order, down in 6th, 7th potentially. Oh dear. Blind Man up into 4th. Great start for him, up 2 positions, and they're still sorting it out up the back. As these guys still argy-bargy in the background. Oh, was that Morgan Davies sliding a little bit. Manages to hold on to it. But Corey Hack goes down into 10th position. Woody up into 8th. A bit of shifting and movement at the start. FAF down in 8th position off the start. It's all kicking off here. But as it stands, GTR under a lot of pressure from Young Wakey. As they barrel down towards the hairpin on the first lap. The Hoonquop driver of Lewis wide in the background over the AstroTurf under the bridge. And into the hairpin now.
Oh, Woody with the big send at the hairpin. Oh, he's done well to not take out anyone. Still manages to hold the position he made up on Geesh going into the braking zone there.
As Geesh, the championship leader from P1 to P7 in just half a lap. Is he able to claw back this deficit? As we see, oh, Blind Man's gone, and so's Lewis.
Lewis.
Oh, dear.
Lewis has binned it.
Huge chaos there.
And I tell you what, Woody is very lucky that ghosting is a thing. He just drove straight through Lewis, who was facing 180 degrees in the wrong direction.
So that was 2 separate things there. We saw Lewis run wide, and then
Blind Man run wide.
Ran wide, and then it was Lewis.
HC Lewis.
That got stuck up on the AstroTurf and spun it 180 degrees around. But as it stands, back up the front, GTR holding the lead by 3.5 tenths over Young Wakey. HC Adam sitting behind in 3rd. Woody, magnificent 6 positions gained on the opening lap, up into 4th position.
I'm going to throw out a little tasty tidbit here. I'm not going to give everything away, but in the 10-car field we have tonight, the tyre differential is split 8 and 2.
8 and 2.
Yes. So 8 drivers are on one compound and 2 drivers are on the other. So if chat wants to throw in some guesses as to who the 2 drivers are, I will be curious to know who you think.
Well, here's my thought process.
Uh-oh.
Historically, the Div 1... Oh, as we see... Oh, a little bit of contact between Morgan and Blind Man in the background. But historically, these Div 1 guys, they haven't really liked the medium tyre. So I'm going to say that the majority of the field are on the soft tyre. And that being said, Geesh's drop... Oh, actually... I was going to say if he hadn't gained those extra positions, I would say that Jeesh was on the mediums while everybody else was on the softs. But he's gained back on FAF and Morgan there, so... Oh wait, no, it was because Blind Man and Lewis spun, so he's technically still... Yeah, okay. My guess is Jeesh, medium, and... Oh, let's go slow. Let's go Corey Hack, medium.
I don't think I've ever used the word slow and Jeesh in the same sentence.
I mean, well, he dropped 4 positions. Yeah, I think
Can I just blow?
nailed this
Can I
one.
just? Can I just blow your thought process out of the water?
Yes.
The 2 drivers are on softs.
Oh,
Yeah, we were sitting here having a little bit of a laugh while you were trying to figure that one out, Malocious, unfortunately. I do want to quickly mention out of the hairpin, Faf had a huge moment of counter-steer and oversteer. He managed to hit the horn as he was doing it, so that was quite an interesting moment, seeing a car going sideways and on the horn at the same time. So I don't know what his button mappings are, but he accidentally hit the wrong one.
That brings on some serious deflow vibes. G'day to deflow if you're watching tonight. We miss you and your beeping horn here at Sector 1.
beep, beep. I don't know, I didn't hear any horns on the starting grid, did you?
I did hear a couple through the test starts.
No. Because I remember at Road Atlanta there was a couple of horns going on. Of course, the GT3 cars don't have horns attached to them, but these GT4 cars, they probably have horns.
Tell you what, young Wakey's doing very well to keep within touch of GDR. He's doing a fantastic job. He's still only half a second behind.
If Young Wakey could take a win today, it would definitely be the start of Wakey Gate. And I think Sean should be a bit scared if Wakey Gate's incoming. Can't quite remember what the bet was, but it had something to do with jobs, I'm pretty sure.
Well, I hope you... Ooh, Atoms run wide at Spoon. That's not gone well. He's on the AstroTurf.
Oh, no!
He's very
Oh!
sideways.
And through goes Jeesh and Woody. So Woody's made up 7 positions. 2 Respawn Esports drivers sitting behind him at the moment. Jeesh looking for a move. Not going to happen through 130R.
Yes. Woody being very defensive. Ooh, Adams wide again. Don't do that, son. Trust me. It's bad.
It's the blood pumping. You go wide
Yeah.
there, 130R, for sure. Distinct Jeesh has been giving Diffwood a real run for his money, though, so Diffwood is having to go very defensive. And now it's the superpower of Jeesh on the main straight here, and he's very close and closing in. I don't think he'll be close enough for a move in turn 1, so we'll keep an eye on these two, but yeah, very impressive with young Wakey there. Doing a great job to hold on to TX3 GTR.
Just reading in the YouTube chat, Snake Eyes is asking the question, is Jeesh on RM? Nismo Nath surely thinks that one of the drivers on the okay, so the 2 drivers are on the racing softs. Nismo Nath says Jeesh is surely one of them on the racing softs. And Stickers is telling me in no uncertain terms that the audience shouldn't have to guess, the commentators should tell the audience is what's going on. So I might take Stickers' advice right there, and I will let the audience know what's going on.
How about a tire and update?
How about a move from Jeesh on Diswood?
It's a bit early for that. So, thanks to Stickers, the 2 drivers that are on the racing softs are currently Diswood in P4 and HC Lewis in P9, who unfortunately had that incident
Woody.
at Spoon a little earlier.
Looking for a switchback move on Jeesh. Can he get it done? Oh, Jeesh trying to hold the position. Woody shown the AstroTurf. Has to try and get the run down the hill. Can't quite get the power down. Oh, running a little bit wide, but manages to keep on the track. Yeah, barreling down towards 130R now.
Oh, they've gone sideways through 130R. It's a great battle between Jeesh and Diswood right now. Jeesh managed to get through in the hairpin earlier on after a great exit through Degna 2. Diswood had nothing to answer back there, and Jeesh went right on through. This is bringing HC Atom back into this race. Diswood, as we'll get an update on our APR Tire and Fuel update momentarily, I'm sure, from Garden Boy, but Diswood right on the back again, pulling out of the slipstream. He's now running on the inside into turn 1. They're going to go side by side. Will Jeesh be able to hold it this time? I don't think he will. No, has to pull in line, and Diswood goes back ahead. Switcheroos are many in the previous lap between these two. Great racing.
Absolutely. Although Jeesh on the medium tyre and Woody on the softs, I mean, it's still a great battle between these two. It's like the balanced performance between them.
Correct. Well, I'd be intrigued to get an update on our fuel and tyres, so should we throw it back over to Carbon Boy for some more updates?
Rightio, so APR Tyre and Fuel update. Currently in the lead is Young Wacky, who is on the racing medium compound. He is at about just under 70% fuel in the tank, and those front tyres are looking pretty healthy actually, with about 30% wear on the fronts and about 15 to 20% on the rear. Just behind him in the Nissan Silvia for Hooncorp is GDR, also on the racing medium compound. He is a little bit worse off for fuel at about 65%, and relatively equal on the front tyre wear of about 20%, and those rear tyres, being the Silvia, are still fresh as a daisy. A couple of seconds back.
Sorry to interrupt as well, Carbon, but Wakey's in the lead. When did that happen?
Yes, that is what I said.
When did that happen? When did Wakey take the lead?
Sometime on the last lap, I would have a guess.
Oh wow!
I think it was this lap actually. It might have been in the S's, but I unfortunately missed that too. And by the way, Diswood has slipped down to P5 as well.
Anyway, continuing on from that revelation, on the racing medium compound in P3 at the moment is Jeesh. He's about 65% fuel, and he's got some really even tyre wear front and rear with about 25% wear. Less than a second behind him is his teammate in HC Atom with he's got a fairly noticeable fuel advantage over his teammate. He's on about just under 70% fuel. And also with some really good front and rear tyre wear, and probably getting closer to the 30% worn mark. Back down to P5 is Woody on the racing soft tyre. Fuel is at
he runs wide! Oh dear! Loses the position to Morgan Davey.
Okay, so skipping back up to P5, Morgan Davies on the racing medium compound. He's on about 60% fuel, and the front tyres are at about 30% worn, and the rear tyres are at about 15%. Back to Woody, he's got about just under 60% fuel left in the tank. He's on the racing soft compound, which explains why those front tyres are currently at about, I'd say they're very close to 90% worn. They are not having a good time, whereas the rears are only about 30-35% worn. A few seconds back down the road is HC Lewis. He's on the racing soft compound as well. He has about 60% fuel in the tank. He's doing a little better on the front tyres than Woody. He's got about, he's probably about 70% worn, and the rears, being a Silvia, are only at about 10% worn. Blind Man in the Datsun Mercedes has just over half a tank of fuel, about 60% wear on the front tyres of those racing medium compound, and similar to the Silvia, he's only got about 15% wear on the rear. FAF is on about 55% fuel. He's also on the racing medium compound, probably about 40% wear on the front tyres, and not even 10% on those rears. And finally bringing up the rear of the field is Corey Hack on about just over 55% fuel on the racing medium compound, with about 15% wear on the front and about 20% on the rear.
Brilliant. I want to interrupt quickly because I've been keeping an eye here on the top 3 battle. Wakey was ahead of GTR. GTR then got him in the hairpin, got back ahead, then Wakey managed to get him in spoon. They went side by side through 130R. TX3 GTR ran wide, and now Distinct Jeesh is in it, only 0.7 of a second behind. It's all been going off at the top 3 here. Wakey's still in the lead though at this point.
I hope Jeesh doesn't catch up too quickly, because we need a different winner this season, I feel.
Well, he's looking rapid right now. I mean, they're all on the racing mediums at the top here, as Carbon was telling us, pretty much equal tyre wear through all of those cars except for GTR's rears. But yeah, that Sylvia, I believe it is obviously pretty good on its rear tyres at this stage. But it was quite the side-by-side battle. GTR did lose out slightly there to Young Wakey, but they had a great battle through Spoon as well. It was stunning driving between those two, sorry, I should say. And now Geesh, look at him. He's right on the back of GTR and knocking on the door saying, hello, I'm here. Would you like to move over?
Absolutely. I mean, GTR is still looking for that record-breaking next win, but Young Wakey looking for that top flight debut win as well. And I think Geesh has already broken the record for most wins in a season in Sector 1. So it'll just be up to how high that record can go at this stage.
Right on the back of the right rear bumper of Wakey is TX3 GTR. He's getting great runs out of the exits of all these corners. The Supras look like they're struggling a little bit on the exits, but of course they've got the top speed to compensate for that. The Sylvia able to get down the power much sooner in the corner. Wakey's going very defensive. TX3 GTR is forced to the outside of the line. They're going to go in through 130R side by side again.
Takes
brave.
Takes bravery at this point in the race to hold on to it, but GTR not quite giving up yet, sort of shows the nose to Wakey, but now that leaves him vulnerable to Geesh as they barrel down the hill to begin the 8th lap.
Woody's gone wide at 130R. Just manages to bring it back on track nice and safely, but lets HC Lewis through.
It's a good comparison between those two, isn't it?
Oh, there we go. Woody's in the pits on lap 7 of 21.
Yeah.
So
and
he's hoping he can make those mediums last a little bit longer than he's made the softs. Otherwise, he could be in some serious trouble.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
I mean,
he's running 0% on those two front tyres, wasn't he? So Diswood was really in some trouble there with his tyres, where he's dropping down the field so much. Then HC Lewis, he's on about, what, 5% of his front tyres? So he'll be in the picks next, I suspect. Well, that's a long way to go on the mediums, but they'll probably last. Is fuel the main concern there, maybe?
May have to do some conserving. I'm just keeping an eye on what tyres he's put on. He has put on the medium compound and fully brimmed the tank, so by the looks of it, he does intend to go until the end.
The battle at the top continues.
yeah, the GTR Geesh Atom battle still going on as... Oh, sorry. Wakey GTR.
You mean the Wakey?
Yes. Adam isn't too far out of this either. He's only a second or so astray.
He's been catching up actually, so yeah, he's definitely he was about 2.2 seconds behind, now 1.7. So the battling that is going on at the front, Wakey proving to be a little bit of a cork in a bottle here and slowing these, not slowing, but keeping these two at bay, two very fast drivers in GTR and Geesh, of course, and then HC Atom taking full advantage of that at this stage of the race, really. Yeah, GTR got very loose on the exit of Hairpin though, nearly went for a bit of a spinneroo.
I'm keeping an eye on these guys because, well, the main thing I want to see with these guys is they're all on the same compound of tyre. So I want to know who blinks first and when.
And when they do blink, will everybody else jump in at the same time? Because you don't want to be out on those soft tyres medium tyres. You don't want to be out on those tyres any longer than you have to, because you'll have the soft tyres to come home strong on. But you can't blink too early, because then you won't have the soft tyres at the end.
Yes,
so
you will run out of those soft tyres very quickly, as Diswood has just shown us with, what was that, 8 laps?
Oh, 7, yeah. I think he came at the, I think it was 7 laps, or maybe it was oh no, it might have been at the end of lap 8, was it? I know that HC Lewis
I believe
has come in. Yeah, so 9 laps for Lewis, 8 laps for Diswood. And yeah, quite these guys at the top, it's going back and forth between them. My question here is around the Sylvia, because the Sylvia's equal on the front degradation, but the rears are looking much better. Does this mean GTR is going to end up with a bit of a exit speed advantage over these chaps that he already has, just based on the car? But he's got a lot more grip. He's only worn them through about 90% on the rears. It's obviously a trait of the car. Is that going to give him maybe a bit of an advantage towards the end of the medium stint?
There's a nice little battle pack forming back here with 6, 7, and 8. You've got Corey Hack going sideways, side by side with Blind Man through. I don't know the corner names.
That's Degna 2.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
Yeah, it's all numbers
That was
here
a
in
very-
Japan.
It was a very brave move, and I think Blind Man might have just noped out of that one a little bit. And I don't blame him whatsoever.
As these guys head up towards Spoon at the moment. And looks like FAF, he's got a little bit of a gap to Corey Hack behind. Not a whole lot, 6/10, but Corey Hack, he would be looking more backwards than he would be forwards in this stage of the race. Now, but that gap was down to 2/3 back to Blind Man. And Blind Man is closing up as well, so not the greatest exit from Corey Hack there.
By the way,
But it is a bit worse.
GTR
Oh,
has got
Corey
a
Hack.
run on Wakey.
Oh, Corey Hack! Oh, Corey Hack's gone! Oh dear, into the wall! Absolutely gone!
Oh, GDR around the outside of Wakey at turn 1. That's ambitious.
Oh, but Wakey holds onto P1. Wow, but that was a massive impact for Corey Hack. As we'll have a look at the Next Level Racing action replay at what just happened there as they came through 130R. He got on the AstroTurf. Massive slide, corrected it, and then it kicked him out again, overcorrection into another overcorrection, and ended up in the wall, taking out that 100-meter marker ball, which that might actually be dangerous. Oh, Wakey!
Wakey's run wide.
Oh,
And that
And
lets
they both
go
go
through.
through.
oh, down to P3. GTR inherits the lead of the race. Jeesh, up
Small
into
mistake.
P2.
Small mistake hurts so much here at Suzuka, especially when you've got two people following you that close. Oh, it's so unlucky for young Wakey there. Just got a little bit of a wider run through Dunlop curve, and unfortunately he just tried to get the power down maybe a millisecond too early, and it just forced that super wide. He's very low on those recent medium tires as well. He's worse off for tires, I think, than the two ahead of him.
That is correct. His front tyres, his front right's at about 10% left, whereas Geesh in the Super in front of him has about 20% left on that front right tyre.
Small difference, but it does make a difference, ironically. And this has brought Atom into the fight because he's now only 1.1 seconds behind this trio ahead of him. So he is right in this battle now, and his tyre life's looking pretty decent as well. But unlucky for Corey Hack there going to the wall. We saw that with Bumcrack in Div 3 as well. Very easy to do.
So, Blind Man and Corey Hack have dropped 5 seconds to FAF in front. So, maybe there's a bit of contact between these two. And they're going at it again. Because Corey Hack is right up underneath Blind Man. Dare I say there was contact between these two, which took them out a while away from... Oh, wait, no. Corey Hack lost it, and then Blind Man must have had a separate incident.
Can I just pipe up, gentlemen? I think we have a driver here tonight on the alternative strategy. He's just gone purple through the second sector. It is HC Lewis who has pitted, but he's put on a fresh set of soft tyres and he only has half a tank of fuel. So I suspect he might be going for a fastest lap extra point, because with the mandatory tyres tonight, he will have to stop again
He
for
does
his
take
mediums.
it. That being said, though, these guys in front haven't touched the soft tyres.
No.
So he
That
has
might
gone
be-
quicker at the moment. but
That
will
might
that
be
stand?
detrimental to him later.
Well, and he's got to obviously pay the price in another pit stop, which is not the cheapest thing here at Suzuka, unfortunately. And yeah, I mean, he's going to have to put in some really, really good lap times on the soft stint here, and that will wear them out. And yeah, he might find himself on the mediums for a little bit longer than he wants to. By the way,
GTR has just found a little bit of the grass on the exit of the hairpin, which,
He
as you were
has.
saying, is let Geesh get a run on him. He's got the outside of Spoon, which is... That's not where I would want to be honest.
That's got it back in line. Oh, Wakey's gone for a move on Geesh.
Oh,
So Geesh got stuck outside on the wide line, and that opened the door on the second part of the Spoon curve. And Wakey just chucked it down the inside. Very opportunistic move, but Geesh Looks like he has a reply on the Kraken Esports driver. Oh, a little bit of grass there from Wakey, and he will go through. Wakey slots in behind. Maybe a return to sender into the triangle chicane. And it looks like everybody holds out for now, but that brings Atom right back up into things as well. Gives GTR a little bit of breathing room, pops himself 1.3 seconds ahead of the rest of the pack.
I think GTR will be loving these two battling right now. Just gives him that little bit of breathing space. They're out of slipstream at the moment, and if they keep going at it, he will skip away to, well, it'll be over 2 seconds before you can blink.
Yeah, and another thing to note as well is GTR's rear tyres are still in pristine condition. So when he puts the power down, he's got a bit more grip out of the corner than I think these other guys do as well. I mean, not to say that he's going to necessarily, fly away. Blind comes into the pits now. But HC Adam is trying to put a move now on Wakey. Wakey's tyres are starting to really drop off. There's an interesting fuel difference between these top four as well. GTR is the lowest out of them, and Atom's got the move done. He's going up the inside. He'll go into P3 for Degna 1. He's got the move done on Wakey. Wakey's suffering out there now. And I was about to say Atom at the back. Yeah, I was about to say Atom at the back. He's got more fuel than all four of these chaps, but and was at the back of this group, but now he's up into P3. So well done, good move.
As we'll have a look at the next little race and replay that move through the S's. What a move it was from Adam. Just capitalised on young Wakey running just that little bit wide, and as soon as the door opened, shoved it down the inside and got it done before the Degnas.
But Carbon, what is the tyre life looking like at the moment on old Wakey's, young Wakey's car, I should say. Sorry, wrong. I think it's the wrong lobby here.
Well, young Wakey, that front right has checked out. It is gone. It is completely and utterly nuked. The front left has about 10% left on it, which is not too bad, all things considered. The rears both have about 25% left on them, so the rears are actually quite healthy. Just the important ones, the ones that make the car go around the corner, yeah, they're not doing too good. So I suspect with him being on the fuel light right now, we might see him in the pits following GTR, who is also on the fuel light, as is Geesh, who slots into the pits. And Atom, who has all the fuel in the world compared to the rest of them, goes around for another lap because he's currently he's above 10% on fuel. He'll hit the light sometime this lap, I'd say.
Yeah, Morgan Davey in the pits as well, and that's going to be interesting because that means that all those previous three top runners in GTR, Geesh, and young Wakey, they are all going to be running one extra lap on those soft tyres. None of them, I assume, will be looking at some alternative strategy like the likes of HC Lewis. So Atom here has managed to extend this. He's kind of just stayed within range and bided his time. Got that move done on young Wakey, mainly, I think, due to a little bit of running wide and a lack of grip there for young Wakey. But he'll have an extra lap. And oh no, Atom, he's run wide at Dunlop curve there. Brings it back on track, but he's still going to be a lap fresher on the soft tyres when he inevitably takes this lap, most likely.
I've done that exact same thing at that corner in many practice sessions, and I think I know exactly what was going through Atom's mind at that point. And I can't say, well, it's after 9 o'clock. I probably could say some of those words, but I'm going to choose not to.
It's a very professional choice there, I think, at the end of the day. I think we all know exactly what those words are. If you want to type them in the chat, guys, go right ahead. But I don't think there's many questions as to what those are. But you're right, it's a bit of a heart and mouth moment, really. You just hold your breath and go, oh, I made it. No, I haven't. No. Sort of reminiscing on Family Guy things that I used to watch. Anyway, that's beside the point. Atom that to a 27-second lead now over Corey Hack, who's in P2.
And fun fact, Geesh has jumped GTR in the pit stop.
Oh, wow.
I can tell you why. GTR was the lowest on fuel out of all of them. He was running right to the red line on that, whereas Geesh was holding about 5 or maybe 6% more, as was young Wakey. But Lewis has actually got up ahead of young Wakey. So, but Lewis will have to pit again. So that's the thing. So technically not really gained a position on track there. Wakey hasn't really lost a position on track, but Wakey has lost a bit more time in the pit lane than both GTR and Geesh. She's kind of fallen off that battle pack a little bit.
Atom's in. Massive fuel save as well.
Oh, and bit of a pit lane report here. FAF has got a 3-second penalty. He did that in qualifying at the start, and now he's done it in the race, sadly.
Oh no. Well, unfortunately, when you don't learn your lesson, that's what happens.
Okay, so Atom does stop in the pit lane. Tyres get changed. The fuel will go in just a second. Geesh is coming around the final corner now, down the main straight. This is going to be pretty close. I think Atom's going to lose out. Yes, he will, but by how much is the question. He was ahead of young Wakey. He comes out of the pits now, but he'll be slow in comparison to Wakey. They're going to go side by side in turn 1. This is going to be close. Oh, but Atom's got it. So technically stays a provisional P3. Yep, that's exactly right. So advantage Atom here in this case. Oh, maybe
GTR,
one. Oh, yeah.
I mean, Wakey. Immediately
Wakey definitely. He definitely wants to have a conversation about this because he's got temperature in his tyres. He is good to go. He wants to get past Atom while his tyres are still warming up, but not sure how that's going to work out for him because they've got a HC Lewis looming in front of them, which might check them both up a little bit.
Yeah, I think Lewis is going to be a bit of a cork in this bottle here because he's running reasonably worn. Actually, they're pretty well worn, actually, aren't they? They're pretty worn soft tyres at this stage, isn't he? I don't know when he's going to pit, though. When do we think? Maybe a few laps, but obviously he needs to be on the mediums, but...
Well, he's still got a quarter of a tank of fuel to go, so he might be somewhere around lap 17, 18?
Yeah, I think you're right, yeah. Oh,
maybe around lap 17 if he wants to run it really low and then just do the bare minimum on the racing mediums.
I mean, this is the problem though, isn't it? Because the faster runners here on the mediums have been dipping into the 208s. Lewis has been incredibly consistent. His lap times are basically all in the 208s except for that previous lap to 11.061. So he's been very consistent, but obviously been trying to extend the tyre life on the racing softs a little bit too much. And at that point, you start to ask the question of, if you just ran full pace on the mediums, wouldn't you be a bit faster over the course of the race? And there's the move from Atom.
Oh,
goes
GTR's at the wall!
Oh, yes he is.
Oh no, that's disaster for GTR, and his hopes of that elusive 13th win to break the record are gone, and he's down to P5. Oh, disaster.
Wow, I think he must have gotten a bit of oversteer through the first part of the Casio triangle there, and yeah, just binned it, unfortunately. Wakey is looking from the inside of Lewis, a little bit of pushing there. The elbows were out. HC Lewis, oh, he nearly loses it on the exit of turn 1, but Wakey goes through and charges after Atom again. Crikey, Nora, that was a close one. GTR is now in behind this fight in P5. Didn't lose too much. Well, no, he did. He lost a lot there, didn't he?
Shout out to Lewis there. That was a fantastic save on that tank slapper. There's no way I would have held that. So, full credit to him.
How many times was that left and right? At least 3 or 4.
I lost count.
Yeah, that was a mighty impressive save. Save of the day, folks. There we go.
Car control, the famous words of Ghost.
Young Wacky is purple through that second sector.
And Geesh's fastest lap at 207.3. So I think we can say goodbye to Lewis's hopes of a fastest lap, as he is 1 second slower.
As you were sort of predicting earlier, yeah, it was once these guys get some of the softs, and they'll have fewer laps to do on the softs. Although, I mean, you know, I think there's still potential here for Atom. He's got 1 extra lap in terms of the tyre degradation than the guys around him. He's running very close to fresh tyres right now. Wakey is on the back of him still, so he's under a bit of pressure, but there's no dirty air for him to deal with at this stage of the race. He won't have a slipstream though, down the back straight they're going now, and on the main straight, but Ish is out to a 5.2 lead in front of these guys.
As they come
Just
through
checking.
130R.
Just checking through the rest of the field. They're all relatively spread out, except for FAF and Corey Hack in P8 and P9, where the gap is just under 1.5 seconds. So I might keep an eye on that while you guys are on the front runners.
As Wakey gets down the inside of Atom, no, doesn't quite get the run. He is right up under the rear bumper though. Atom goes defensive. Wakey is going to have to go the long way round. Backs out of it. looking for the inside. He does open up. Oh, almost contact there as Adam slams the door shut, closes the front door.
That's right. You are not going to Narnia today in the back of the cupboard. That's for sure. Atom says no thank you very much. I think Atom's he's trying to save these tires as well. I think he's got the idea. If he can save these tires out to the end, Jeesh and Wakey will be probably suffering with an extra lap of degradation on it. So he needs to keep it clean and keep Wakey behind him at this stage, and things should just start to roll his way in this race.
Absolutely. As there's a long way to go yet. 5
Oh,
laps. Oh, Adam! Oh, that was
goodness.
almost disaster for the Respawn Esports team owner. But that leaves him vulnerable to Wakey. Chucks it down the inside of the hairpin. Gets it pulled up. Adam holding it around the outside, but Wakey's got the run. No, Adam on the quick line. Gets the power down earlier. And Wakey will have to settle for P3 once again.
Beautiful.
That's beautiful to see. Beautiful to see. Fair amount of racing room left from both drivers there. Makes me very happy as an RD.
As Wakey just showing the nose. The gap opens up. Similar move to what he did to Jeesh. Adam is just slamming this door shut.
He thought about it. He definitely thought about it.
That was the second big save we've had. It was at different corners. HC Lewis still holds the record for most lefts and rights in a save. Wakey will have the run on him down towards 130R though. Down onto the rear bumper of Atom. Not close enough, has to lift off through 130R. Atom will get a little bit further ahead into the braking zone. They go for the Casio triangle, and Atom will remain ahead as they head down the pit straight. Once again, Atom a bit loose on the exit. Better run for Wakey. So here we go again, folks. We're back in the same zone as we were last lap, and Atom will start his defensive moves once again.
Wakey looks like he's got a better run on him this time.
HC Lewis is into the pits with 1% fuel left in the tank, and he has nothing on that front right tyre.
Oh,
So I
Wakey!
dare
A
say-
lot more aggressive this time, banging doors and he goes through.
That was that's a hard one to call there. I mean, it was a huge send from Wakey. Atom had to turn in, and Wakey maybe didn't quite bleed off all the speed that he needed to. There was a bit of contact between the sides of those cars. That'll be one for the stewards later on, I suspect, but Atom falls to P3. Jeesh extends his lead now to 6 seconds with these two fighting amongst themselves. What is the time?
Oh wait, no, they're still going at it. Atom tries the move that he did last time, but Wakey has his nose in there. A little bit of contact. Atom runs wide. Oh my god, they're still side by side through the two deckers. Oh, Atom runs wide again over the AstroTurf. This is an all-out scrap for these guys. They can't quite get enough of it.
Yeah, young Wakey gave him no room there on the deckers at all. I mean, it was pretty close to a fair area for Atom to be in that space, but Wakey said, nope, if you're going to close doors on me, I'm going to close doors on you, and remains ahead. But there is going to be a tyre life difference between these two, and I think that tyre life difference is starting to grow. I'd love an update from Carbon Boy on that.
I think Carbon Boy's dead.
He's a little MIA right now. he's
not MIA. He has just stupidly hit the mute microphone button without realising. So Wakey on the racing softs, his front right is at about 50%, with the front left at about 45%. The rears are about 30% worn. Whereas Atom has, as he runs wide at 130R again, he's done that a few times tonight. Seems to be struggling with that corner entry a little bit. He has about between 20 and 25% wear on the front tyres and about 20% on the rears. So noticeably fresher, but Wakey does have a little bit of a fuel advantage over him. So I'm not sure if Atom will have to conserve or a little bit or not.
Well, Wakey stretched his legs already 8 tenths. Actually, let's go back down to 7 tenths there, but yeah, Wakey, he's sort of getting away while the sun shines, and just trying to manage the gap at the moment to Atom behind. Could we potentially see a career highest finish for Wakey here tonight, or will Atom spoil the party and take yet another podium for the championship leading Respawn Esports outfit?
Yeah, well, we're on lap 18 right now, so that's this lap 19, 20, 21. So 3.5 laps remaining, and You know, if I'm young Wakey right now, or Geesh, I'm looking at my tire life. It might be worse off than Atom, but I'm thinking I've got enough to go to the end, and I should be able to go pretty much flat out. The critical parts being the back straight and the pit straight, where I'm absolutely foot to the floor and using as much fuel as possible. If that's where Atom is going to be slow, he'll have to make it up by using a lot more of that tire life, as Carbon Boy was just telling us. Atom doing much better on his tire life, and of course 1 lap extra. 1 lap extra has Wakey and Geesh done on their tires, so Atom can start to afford to use a bit more of those tires. That was very close though, wasn't it?
Very wide. Wakey and Adam both tasting the AstroTurf on the outside of the spoon curve.
Yeah, that was millimeters in that for both of them. They both had a bit of a moment there in their minds, but they both held it well.
We've just had a question, a legitimate question, I think, Lenosis, as Adam goes wide at 130R again. A question in the chat from Shadow Racing. Why does Wacky have a gold banner? Can you answer that question, Lenosis?
So it indicates that they are a champion of last season, and last season, in Season 6, Wakey was in Division 2 of Sector 1, but as he won the championship, he's been promoted to the top flight, and he gets to sport a special yellow banner to brag to the people around him. There's only one on this Division 1 grid, because the guy who won the Division 1 series last season was Distinct Andrew, who did not return to defend his title. So now Wakey is the lone car on the grid with the yellow banner, sporting it as he won the Division 2 championship last season. Hope that answers your question.
He does seem to be, speaking of young Wakey, he does seem to be struggling a little bit with the extra wear on the tyres compared to Atom. That front right is down to just under 20% left, whereas Atom has, well, easily 40-45% left. So
yeah, I think Atom has been very clever here, and he's used the slipstream. He was fighting to keep that P2, of course, but he's used the slipstream and all that, and the little bit of the gap that he had there to maybe save just a little bit more fuel. They're nearly equal on fuel, these two now. And what it means now is that Atom, we saw that through the S's just earlier on, and now seeing it as they head into Spoon, he is starting to really lean on those tyres. You can hear the screeching going on. Atom was being very cautious. I suspect that's why he was running wide in 130R so much. The wider you go, ironically, the less tyres that you end up using, assuming you don't spin the car, which luckily Atom hasn't been doing. Now he's got to run on Wakey. Down the back straight they go, so Atom's being conservative, and now he's got more tyres, an equal amount of fuel, and he can now go into a drag race, not only in the straights, but also in the corners. That's what he's got to do to get that P2 back from Wakey. It's not going to be enough to get Geesh, though. Geesh is really solid in the lead of this race at the moment.
So Atom doesn't run wide, crucially through 130R on that occasion. As they head down towards the main straight, the pit straight, for the 19th or 20th time, we should say. As these guys still in the 208s, 207s, so that is impressive. The fact that these guys at the end of the race are lapping quicker than the Division 3 pole time, that's just astounding, alien stuff from these guys.
as a Div 3 driver, I fully expect these Div 1 guys to be setting that kind of time.
As a Div 2
I would be
driver,
disappointed if they weren't.
Yeah, as a Div 2 driver, I wish I could do lap times like that, but absolutely admit that I'm never going to be as fast as these guys in Div 1.
To be fair to Young Wakey and Atom, they have been managing that gap to Geesh. I've just been monitoring that over the last few laps. In the last 4 laps, it's only gone up 3/10. It was sticking around that 6.8 second mark, but Geesh, he's managed to pull out another 3/10. Now, I think for Geesh, it's pretty much good as done at this point of the race, barring any major mistake. So he should go on to increase.
If I was Atom about now, I would be starting to plan my move as he closes right up during the hairpin. You're on lap 20 of 21. You've got 1 lap left to go. You've got better tyres than the guy in front of you. Where do you make your move? What do you guys think?
I think for Adam, he's happy to get it done wherever he can as he tries around the outside of Spoon Curve, looking for the switchback. A little bit of contact.
Wakey's
He's going to
Adam.
hurry along.
Adam got on the brakes there and got out of that, to his
Yeah.
credit.
Very sensible. I think Wakey then got very, very sideways. Well, not very sideways, but a little bit sideways. Enough sideways to force him to be off the throttle there through Spoon. And Atom, of course, as you just said, had to be on the brakes, so he wasn't able to do it. But at this stage, Atom's got to use the tyres. He's got to run here. Oh, and Wakey's run wide there, so Atom will go on through. But, oh, he's looking for the switch back here. Oh, it doesn't make it happen.
Nose in there, but Wakey, that's gonna get done. But he's going to have one more opportunity down the main straight. And we saw him pull off the move this time. Last time he got past Adam. Might be too much of a difference to make up. 2/10, under 2/10. He might even get the move done before the corner. No, we can't quite get it done. Is he going to chuck it down the inside like he did? No, Adam covers it off well that time.
Adam
The
has
superior
got-
grip is just helping him to maintain that lead.
Yeah, Adam's got the
Wakey.
grip now to defend, so he will be defending like
Wakey
Very,
is
very
definitely going to want to have a conversation about this, but unfortunately, I'm not sure if he's had a look or not, but that front right tyre on the Kraken Esports Supra has completely checked out. It has packed its bags and gone.
It has indeed. Yeah, he's riding on the bold tyres at the moment, the bold tyre strategy at the moment, and yeah, the only other person who's running that close in this top three is Jeesh, but he's still got enough in there to complete this lap easily. I think Atom might have missed a trick here and just wasn't using enough of those tyres. Maybe just saved a little bit too much. I think he was fuel saving as well in this stint, and might have just cost him the chance to go and have at it at Jeesh. But at the end of the day, Atom, it's been a good drive from him today. It really has, and yeah, makes the move on young Wakey. Wakey can't do anything at this point.
They head down towards the spoon curve for the final time. And I think that's all she wrote for Wakey, 1 second behind Atom at this stage. So if Atom doesn't run wide here, which he doesn't, I think it's pretty much sealed at this point.
Well, let's see if he has a heart attack moment in 130i. He's been running wide there all race, so let's keep an eye on that for this time round. But if he does go a little bit wide, he's got 1.5 seconds back to Wakey there, so he'll have a chance to recover as long as he doesn't bin it. Please no commentator's curse. Goes through nice and cleanly.
Jeesh comes through the Casio triangle onto the main straight.
What a drive it is for Jeesh, furthering the record. What a drive. Takes P1, 8 seconds over the rest of the field as Atom rounds the final corner now. It'll be a Respawn Esports 1-2 on the top flight once again. Takes P2. Wakey completes the podium. Equals his top performance in the top flight. GTR in P4 despite having that accident, Casio Triangle. Morgan Davey in 5th. And Corey Hack, he'll come home in P6 as these two, the two Sylvias, fighting into the final 130R, but FAF runs wide and Lewis is going to slip on through. And it looks like Koryak will take P6, the Red Mist driver. And Lewis will hold on to P7 ahead of FAF. And then it'll be Woody in P9 and Blind Man, the Datsun Mercedes driver, rounding out the field.
Yeah, those front tyres, both of them have checked out on that Mercedes.
That might even be a
Just-
penalty there as well.
He's just nursing the car.
Oh,
There you go.
yes.
There's the penalty.
Ooh. As he rounds the final corner across the line. And that concludes the race for Division 1 here at Suzuka.
Well, picking a driver of the day here, that's got to be rough. I'm going to have to think about that one a little bit.
Yeah, likewise. I mean, yeah, there's a few good candidates today, I think. I am wondering now a little bit about the championship, if there's anything that we can, particularly you, Lalocious, since you are the stats man amongst us here. Has Jeesh got it? Has he done it?
I think it's safe to say, fastest lap, pole position, race win. I think that seals the deal. There's no one catching him, even when the drop rounds come into effect, because remember, he did miss Watkins Glen. So that means he'll be dropping half the points as what these other guys around him will be as well. So I think it's safe to say the championship has been sorted.
Wow.
GTR was the closest competitor. GTR needed to have needed to catch up by 33 points. 32 points in order to make it close. But I think it's sorted. I think it's safe to say that Geesh, after the magnificent season that he's been having, he's taken the championship here at Suzuka. So huge congratulations to Geesh on this magnificent effort. He's broken so many records and he's won so many races, so many fastest laps, so many pole positions. It's just magnificent to watch. As much as domination in motorsport is boring, I mean, it's good to accept it and after it, know that it was something good to have watched.
All right, I'm going to slot it in with my driver of the day prediction. It was actually very difficult for me to pick, but I got to go with Young Wakey. That was a phenomenal drive. Like, held his own the whole race, barely put a foot wrong. The tyre wear was basically what got to him at the end. It still managed to secure himself a podium in the top division, so that gets him over the line for my nomination.
For me, it's going to be HC Atom today. I think he managed the strategy very, very well. He drove a good race, was patient, and executed this strategy as he saw fit, and that's taken him up from P4 on the grid all the way to P2. Yes, there was, of course, TX3 GDR who did have a spin, so that gave Atom a bit of a free place there. There would have been a P2 or P3 for Atom today, I think, anyway, but overall, great drive. I think definitely, for me, an honorable mention for Wakey as well. Great drive from him.
Absolutely. I think I'm going to have to give my driver of the day to Young Wakey as well. I would give it to Geesh, but I think Geesh is pretty adamant and happy that he wants to win the championship without getting a driver of the day, which I don't think he's ever got a driver of the day, I think he was saying to me. So
I'm really tempted to nominate him for driver of the day now.
I think so am I now, yeah.
But I think I'm going to give mine to Wakey. Great performance.
The YouTube chat is telling us driver of the day, Womble. Gee, I wonder who that was. Bumcrack, great effort from Wakey. Robert Rice, driver of the day, Wakey. Matthew Joynson, driver of the day, Wakey. Excellent drive from him. Snake Eyes, driver of the day, Wakey. Debrev, g'day mate. Driver of the day, Atom. Mr. Bumcrack, driver of the day, Wakey. So far,
Well, they're all
Wakey
wrong.
seems to be.
It's going to distinct Geesh, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we do have that kind of power, but I'm not sure if I want to flex it just yet.
No, I agree on that. No,
Maybe
Wakey-
wait till the last round just to really ruin it for him.
Yeah, that's a good call.
So that's something to keep in mind, everybody. We got to vote Geesh driver of the day for Monza, no matter whether he shows up or not. He probably won't even show up, to be honest, just because he's. I mean, you would.
I've had a
hope he would.
conversation with him regarding that earlier in the week, and I dare say you'll see him there.
What's that supposed to mean? That's a bit cryptic.
Well, you know me. I never like to give everything away straight away. I got to keep you guys guessing. It's more fun for me that way.
What, is he gonna
Infuriating for you guys, but fun for me.
Is he going to show up in a Prius or something?
No, he won't be allowed on track with the settings and the regulations that we have. So that is unfortunately not an option.
Oh, I'm done guessing. Anyways, thanks for joining us here tonight, guys. If you haven't already, make sure to smash that like button, which a lot of people of you have. That's actually really nice to see. 22 of you have already hit that button before we've even asked. So, very nice to see. Thank you, everybody.
And I'm ashamed to say that I am not one of them, so I better get on that. And there we go. There's another one for you, mate.
Yes, there we go. So thanks everybody for. Oh yes, if Geesh just. Oh no, you've ended the no. Oh, we didn't see
What have I done?
the championship donuts. Oh no. Too late.
End of season, and you wait to the end of season,
right.
race.
Okay, yeah, that's enough. Yeah, Geesh can do burnouts at the final race once we've officially sorted out, because I think it's enough to get him across the line tonight. but until it's officially been confirmed, it'll have to be next race. Then he can do his donuts.
Yes, no celebratory burnouts just yet. Sorry, race director call.
The Suzuka circuit would like their track to be nice and fresh. I don't know why, but that's what they've asked us.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you're still watching, thank you very much for tuning in tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure to have this broadcast held for you, and I hope you all enjoyed.
Special thanks to Carbon Boy and CGK for rocking up every week and helping us put on the good show and doing all the behind-the-scenes work. It's really nice to see, and we hope that we put on a good show for you guys, and these are the guys that rock up and help put it on for all you to come rock up and enjoy the entertainment. So it's nice to see. Special thanks to you guys once again. You've been doing it all season long, and
it's been a pleasure, Matt.
Yeah, everyone.
Yeah, and of course, a thanks to you, Lenosius. And of course, a thanks to you, Lenosius, one of our brilliant broadcasters here at Sector 1.
Thank you very much.
And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, tune in next week for Divisions 4 and Division 2. If this week was anything to go by, I'd say, dare say the action next week is going to be just as hot. And I'm running out of words to use, so I'm just going to bid you all a good night.
And also, we cannot forget Thursday night. If you're not doing anything, you either want to jump in to the car yourself or jump across and have a look at the entertainment on offer. We've got our community series on Thursday night. We have 14 slots available, open to the community members first and foremost, and then the official Sector 1 drivers and whatnot can come in on the day and fill in the spots if need be. But yeah, want to get in on the action, join the Sector 1 Discord in the link below and register when the post gets put up. It should get put up over the next couple of days. And yeah, so Thursday night, community series, and then next Sunday night is our Group B, where we do it all over again here at Suzuka Circuit for our 2 divisions of Division 4 and Division 2. So once again, my name is Lenosis, and joining me in the commentary box tonight was CGK and Carbon Boy. And wait, any last words, CGK, before I leave everybody with their
No, I
thoughts?
think I'll just repeat what Carbon Boy said, and good evening, good night, and goodbye.
Thank you very much. And we're going to sign that off here. Lenosis, CGK, and Carbon Boy, thanks for joining us tonight. It's been a pleasure, and we'll catch you all on Thursday. So, bye, guys.